What is up, everybody? Welcome back once again to Hot Toys Hotline Live as Chris is making a silly face. Episode 75. Chris has to quickly dip. He's got to go meet somebody to do something. He'll be right back. So
Unfortunately.
Chris wanted to stay here and say hi. He's going to be right back. Don't worry, guys. I told him if he takes anything longer than 30 minutes, he's never allowed to come back. So best believe he's going to put the pedal to the metal and, and he'll be back for sure. But he just wanted to drop in and say what's up to you guys and let you know that he'll be right back because he's been hanging out with us backstage before the stream started. But yeah, Chris, anything you wanted to say before you dip out? You're just going.
See ya. No, I'm just kidding. What's up, chat? Good to be here. Good to see everybody. Looking forward to talking about some awesome topics. Let's go.
Yes, sir. And then we might as well finish our introductions here. We're going to have a couple people on the panel as well. They're just kind of making their way in. But we have Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare here. Sean, thank you so much for being here. As always, we appreciate you very much for being here.
You're welcome, and I'm glad to be here. And not hopping in for 10 seconds of glory and then hopping out with my stubby little legs like Barney Rubble.
Sean always bringing the jokes, but we appreciate you. Guys, I'm sure some of you are wondering, like, oh, they're live on a Tuesday, not a Thursday. What's going on? We haven't fully decided yet. We're just kind of testing out Tuesdays. It may be a thing where, we alternate days depending on how the week is, or, we might go one way or the other. We're just kind of messing around with it, playing around with it. So we haven't 100% decided on Thursday or Tuesday versus Thursday. We're just trying it out, see how it goes. So thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I just laughed at Mike's name as he popped in. Mike Literature is here, guys. Perfect timing. You're muted right now, Mike.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can hear you now.
All
I
right.
think you
Sorry,
were
I'm
actually
late, fellas.
activated already, and you did the opposite.
See, I don't know how to use this crap.
But what's up, dude? Thanks for being here. Chris actually just stepped out. He'll be right back. He had to go do something real quick. But
All right.
what's up, man? How's it going?
It's great. It's just putting my my little boy to sleep, so he goes to bed at 7. So it's like right there on the dot.
Right on the dot. Perfect
Yeah,
timing, though, because we're just getting started. We haven't said anything to anybody in the chat or anything like that, so we're just getting started. So we appreciate you for being here, as always.
Very good.
And I was just telling everybody, we're testing out Tuesdays. We're not 100% sure if we're going to swap to this day or if we're going to do, Tuesday some weeks, Thursday, whatever. But it's a fun time. There's some decent stuff this week. Not a lot because you guys know Chinese New Year is upon us right now. So there's a lot of different companies that aren't operating in full capacity right now. So I'm sure you guys have seen not a lot of new announcements from Hot Toys and stuff. So that's for a reason. It's because it's Chinese New Year. I'm going to say what's up to everybody in the chat. It seems like we have a decent amount of people popping in already, and then we're going to get right into it. So first off, first person in the chat, of course, as always, we have Some Guy over here. Some Guy is one of our channel members and also one of our great moderators here, guys. As always, you're not required if you would like to become a channel member. The link is in the description of this video. I would very much appreciate it if you did, but you don't have to. Some Guy says, come and join us on the Six Scale Scallywags Discord server. Yes, guys, we do have a Discord server if you guys aren't aware. We've been having fun hanging out over there in the Discord server. So if you haven't already, head on over. It's a great platform. And we also have a Facebook group as well. So we have a little bit of everything for everybody. So links to everything are in the description. And of course, the mods will be dropping it in the chat throughout the stream. So thank you so much, Some Guy, for being here and for dropping the link in the chat. A familiar face for a lot of you, we have Ryan from Mr. Mom Collectibles, also a channel member. I very much appreciate that, Ryan. Ryan says, well, new night, who dis? Smash that like, and if you're watching for the first time, why not consider subbing to the Hot Toys Hotline? Well, hey, I appreciate that, Ryan. And yes, guys, as always, I very much appreciate it. Definitely consider subscribing if you want to stay up to date with all my most recent content. Because you guys know I've been pumping out those reviews, man. I've been pumping them out. So I got more coming. They're just going to keep on coming. Don't worry. You guys know I'm a maniac with buying stuff. So, and don't worry. I still plan on doing a video on the Batman. I know a lot of you guys have been asking me my thoughts on the Batman. So don't worry. That's coming eventually. Another one of our channel members is Payton23 and also a moderator here as well. Payton says, hello, fellow collectors. Well, what's up, Payton? I hope you're doing well, my friend. Thank you so much for being here, as always. It's not a Hot Toys Hotline stream without you, so we very much appreciate you hanging out with us on a Tuesday.
There's an emoji called Box Sniffer. What is that?
Yes, that's actually me. So there's it's an older YouTube short on the channel, and it was just like a little joke that I made long ago. It was actually when the Endgame Captain America came out, the new stealth suit. and I put this little short up of me, just kind of, it was like a little joke about like, you know, when something arrives on your doorstep, and like I picked it up off my doorstep, I opened up the box and I smelled it, and everybody thought it was so funny. So I took a little clip from it and made it into an emoji. I still have to add more emojis. I've made some, I just haven't added them to the channel. But yeah, that's one of them on there. It's just me sniffing the box. Let's see. Summers fam is here. Summers fam says, see you soon, bro. Well, hey, Summers fam, I hope you're still hanging out with us. If so, thank you so much for being here. I hope you're having a great night, and I can't wait to hear everybody's thoughts on the stuff tonight, because we got some interesting stuff to talk about tonight. Let's see. Who else we got? Sorry, guys. I'm just scrolling through here. We got Pokey, short and sweet as always, just dropping the E. Pokey was hoping that I was going to talk about his favorite figure, the Kenobi 501st. I'm like, dude, we're not talking about that tonight. Get out of here. Let's see who else we got. Boba Fettuccine in the house. Boba Fettuccine, we got to get him on soon. It's just about timing, working out the timing. But I know Boba Fettuccine wants to come on for sure, so we'll definitely have to have him on one day soon.
Hey now, Boba.
Absolutely. Boba Fettuccine, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Boba says, what's up, all? Well, dude, we're just hanging out on this fine Tuesday evening. I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here, as always. Let's see. We got Carlito in the house, another channel member. Carlito is a good friend of mine. Carlito, I appreciate you hanging out with us tonight, my friend. If you wanna chat with Carlito, you can find him over in the Hot Toys Hotline Discord and Facebook group, because he hangs out in both with us. So we always have a great time in there, and we appreciate you guys hanging out with us in there. But Carlito, I hope you're doing well, my friend. Let's see who else we got. We got Sean saying hello, children. Sean, you're dating yourself with that comment, dude. You can't say hello, children. You're not that old, Sean. Come on. There's probably plenty of people.
Hello, children. Hi, Chef. What are you guys doing today? Well, we're trying to go over and we're trying to learn about sex ed and go over and find this stuff. And we got this hotline that we're going to call, and we're going to talk to the people there and see what's okay.
I don't know.
All right, children. Just don't tell your parents where you're going, okay?
Why don't you just sound like Sean as a South Park character? We have Joshua Alvarez here dropping the trophy emojis. What's up, Joshua? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for being here. And I can't wait to hear your thoughts on everything tonight. Facebook user is here. Facebook user says hi from Spain. Well, hello to you from the United States here. I hope you're doing well. You don't have to, but if you would like to, there are instructions in the description of the stream if you would like to share your name. If not, I'm totally cool with Facebook user. I just always like to let everybody know, just in case you didn't know, that it's not showing your name. We have Collector's Entity in the house. What's up, Collector's Entity? Collector's Entity dropping the fist bump emoji. I hope you're doing well, Collector's Entity. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, and it's so great to see you in here tonight. Big Dog Pound. Unfortunately, Chris temporarily stepped out. He's going to be back, don't worry, but he stepped out. He actually told me, like, I'm not going to bring the belt down tonight. I'm like, oh, you're going to have to explain that to Big Dog Pound. That's on you, bro. That's not on me. That's on you. Because Big Dog Pound's going to bring the hammer down if you don't pull out that belt. But Big Dog Pound, until he does, I'll give you a big woo! Thank you so much for being here, my friend. I hope you're doing well. It's funny, I just watched a clip of Ric Flair on Kill Tony, that little stand-up comedy show, and I thought it was very interesting. But I hope you're doing well, Big Dog Pound. Thank you so much for being here. Let's see, who else we got in the chat? Another Facebook user waving hello. Facebook user, I hope you're doing well once again. Same thing for you. If you would like to share your name, the description kind of shows you how to do that. It's very simple, but if not, no big deal. I think that's everybody, guys. If I missed you, don't worry. As we have a discussion on the stream and you guys are dropping your comments, I'll do my best to read as many as possible, as I always like to do. I don't know what I'm doing there. Guys, we're going to start right off, and as always, big shout out to MRC for this video. I wanted to talk about this one because I felt like this was kind of like the controversy of the past week. And don't worry, we're going to get into some other stuff that's kind of a bit newer, like the Beetlejuice, the JND silicone hair situation. We're going to talk about all that tonight, and some rumors, right? You know, you guys probably saw it in the title of this stream. BVS 2.0 is possibly coming very soon. So we'll talk about that as well. But we're going to start with Valkyrie because this one has been very split in terms of the response from the community. And I got to be honest with you guys, looking at this and you know, looking at different photos for the final product, not only from Hot Toys, but people actually having it in hand, I've kind of seen enough to make my kind of final determination on this one. Do I think it's a terrible looking figure? Absolutely not. But when I'm looking at it, I'm not exactly blown away by it. Now, do I think that's due in part to Hot Toys kind of completely straying away from the prototype? Not necessarily. I mean, I think it's pretty close to the prototype. I just think, you know, For one, I think the not having the rolling eyeballs really kind of kills the look on this one at certain angles. Obviously, you guys know that rolling eyeball system really makes a huge difference in posability and the different scenes you could put them in. We talked about this briefly last week, but I had mentioned that, or sorry, the week prior, I had mentioned that like the Luke Skywalker Deluxe from Hot Toys has those eyes looking to the side, and it really just limits you so much. And I think with this one, she just kind of has a very blank stare from the front. So I totally understand a lot of people are looking at it and looking at those eyes, and they're like, it's not really doing it for me. With that being said, I still think the head sculpt is pretty decent. I don't think it's bad by any means. I do also see the argument where some people are saying the head sculpt looks a bit oversized. Maybe, it's the lighting throwing it off. I don't know. I did pick this one up, so I'm very, very interested to see this one in person, and I'm hoping that in person it really comes off better. Another topic of discussion was the seamless, the shoulders, excuse me, I can't even talk. The shoulders not being seamless. That doesn't particularly bother me because we expected that. Would it have been better if we got like the Ahsoka Tano shoulders where they're completely seamless? Yes. I wonder if Hot Toys is kind of revamping that system, because you guys know like that one had a lot of issues with the breakage at that elbow point. So maybe they decided to stray away from that temporarily until they further develop it. We don't know. Or maybe, for this one, they just didn't. They decided not to go that route. Who knows? But for me, I don't think that the non-seamless shoulders bothers me too much. I think the look is kind of flashy enough to kind of detract from that. And as we're just starting to talk about Valkyrie, we have Lane, the Midnight Collector, is here. Lane, how's it going, my friend?
It's going all right. How are you guys doing this evening?
We're doing good. We're doing good. We're just talking about the controversial Hot Toys Valkyrie release.
Controversial?
Yeah.
Honestly, I would have said crickets maybe going off a little bit. There seemed a little bit.
I guess you missed it, Lane. A lot of people were saying this figure was pretty bad. A lot of people were having a lot of issues with the head sculpt, with the look of the shoulders. If you go through the Hot Toys comments, especially, there's a lot of trolls, as there always is, but there's a lot of trolls in the Hot Toys comments. But yeah, guys, again, for me, is this an absolute home run? I did pre-order this because I've been waiting for a Valkyrie. I've always wanted a Valkyrie since Ragnarok. I saw that third-party one, and I just really didn't like how it looked. I thought the head sculpt was pretty goofy looking.
Is it better than that one looking?
I think the Hot Toys head sculpt looks much better.
Yeah, so then you'd probably be doing okay then.
Right. So I prefer the outfit from Ragnarok, like the Valkyrie outfit, but the overall look of the head sculpt and everything here, I think I prefer this one. And I do like this outfit, this kind of King Valkyrie look with the Thunderbolt and everything. Again, I do understand, though, and I'm going to pass it to one of you guys. I do understand, though, the argument where the head just looks a little big on the body. I do kind of see it there myself. But, guys, we're going to kind of have an open discussion on this one. We're not going to spend too much time on it. But I do want to kind of get everybody's thoughts and kind of gauge your thoughts as to what you think of the final product and how it turned out, especially seeing it on video here in MRC's video. So feel free to jump in, anybody, and kind of share your thoughts on this final product here of Valkyrie from Love and Thunder.
Okay, so summarize it. This is a fail on Hot Toys compared to what they had before for the announcement compared to the release. The announcement was so much better. If I was this actress, I would be pissed. To summarize it, I mean, the head is way too oversized. The amount of detail in the hair and everything for the announcement versus this. They completely cut corners with this. The parts of what's good for this, I would give it an 8 to a 10 from the neck down. But yet the shoulders and everything, they could have done something with the shoulders too, where it was seamless. But, we have exposure there on the shoulders.
But that was,
not really
fair, that was present with the prototype, though.
It was, but, they could have fixed it, but they just got to a point where, like, we're not going to invest any more time into this.
Yeah.
And that's really it. So it was really a disservice for this actress, is what I think. But in the end, this is what we have to come up with. Usually with Hot Toys, I can be okay, if it's just as good as what they announced it with. But when it's less than what they announced, no. A lot of people really were excited for this figure, and that excitement kind of really died down.
Yeah.
And that's my summary of it. So I do have one thing positive to say. And that's really it.
What's
But
that?
it's not about this figure. It's that Chris is back with the belt to honor Big Dog Pound 1. And that's the one positive thing I have to say about this figure.
Finally, collecting madness has come back to the stream. Now, Connor may have said I didn't have the belt, but Connor lied to you all. No. I have brought the belt because I saw Big Dog Pound. With that being said, I am the wedding ring wearing, the truck driving, Hot Toys delivering, wheeling and dealing son of a gun. Woo! Welcome to Hot Toys Hotline, baby.
Woo! Did you mislead everybody right there just for a moment now? Jim Bob the Brown Knob. First off, Connor just repeated what you said. He did not mislead. He told everybody what you said. You said it's not a dig.
Sean has my back for once. That's awesome.
I'm going to go here and I'm going to do this. Blah, 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 blah. I'm a dirty tramp.
Well, no. Well, Madness may be wooing busy. First, he better hope as his namesake, the first wooer, he doesn't end up married as many times as that guy. Number two is that you may be the king of woos, but the Hot Toys Hotline is the head of the collecting table.
Oh, okay.
I don't know if that's a good thing.
Like
dude.
Voltron.
Yes.
He
Well,
for 30 minutes or less.
Unless you, I mean,
I got that belt too. Lane.
Yeah,
What if he would have pulled that out?
As long as he doesn't start becoming paranoid and start going yeet or no yeet or something like that, then we'll be okay.
Yeet.
But that was Jimmy Uso. But I saw someone posted up how Taylor Swift apparently joined the bloodline.
Jay Uso. Just
Lane,
stop while
you're gonna get
Stop,
Chris
pal.
heated, man. You're gonna get him heated.
Bro, I had to freaking run from where I was, and just a public service announcement for everybody out there. If you're ever selling on the marketplace, Facebook Marketplace, don't use your personal address. I never do, and I'm always skeptical, like I'm gonna get robbed out there or something. I'm a little guy, all right? So somebody could just take me right in their vehicle.
You're the ultimate UPS underdog. You're
always use public location.
Evil Sneakers in the house. What's up, Steve?
Hey, yo.
Sluggin16. What's up, Sluggin16? How's it going, guys?
I'll say for the figure, for dealing with the Valkyrie, because honestly, I had no interest in this figure whatsoever because I absolutely hate that movie. I kind of, unfortunately, I'm with the Hot Toys Nightmare, and it's like a reoccurring like GIF there almost.
That's what head of the table looks like.
Yeah, except he'd be holding two up on his shoulders. And I think Mike would be his. Mike would be the wise man there and everything with one of them, or probably or something.
You're the wise man.
No, I'm the absence of wisdom. I'm usually saying whatever I say would be a good idea, probably do the opposite, and you'll end up better. But this particular figure, I think I like how the outfit, everything good. Now that didn't say it because we normally would expect that for 270 plus figure. The outfit should look good. I'm very much of his mindset that just the head sculpt looks weird. I mean, you guys, I look at the head sculpt and it reminds me kind of how you might remember the comic Iron Man, the one that came out last year. You know, it's a limited one. How when you saw the head sculpt for that one in comparison to the actual Iron Man helmet on the figure, and the head sculpt was bigger. Now that was a comic one, not a head like a person, but it was bigger than the Iron Man head sculpt. Actually, that would go on the figure, and it just looked really discombobulated when you saw it. I feel like when you look at her shoulders and how skinny they are, and you see the head sculpt on it, you notice it more. Now, I think the accessories she comes with and everything with the lightning bolt, all that stuff, looks great. Like that turned out pretty good. honestly, this makes me worry about what's going to be like when the Gore the God Butcher comes out. Because if they put this little effort into the Valkyrie, where everybody was going, oh my God, what is up with that Gore the God Butcher? Like, what is that going to look like when it comes out?
How's it going, Cigar?
But
yeah, Lane, with that one, a lot of people had complaints about it not being a seamless body, but it's like that has arms, like deep etched in scars and stuff on the arm. So like to do that with a seamless body, it just wouldn't look right.
Yeah,
they would have to. Like,
I know. I'm just worried for how
skin,
this one turned out. Like, how might that one? If they try and just get it out and get it over with, because that seems like that's a lot of Thor, Love and Thunder. It could have been the reaction to that movie and stuff, which has affected some other MCU properties and how many figures we've got from them.
Yeah.
But like, see, I look at this and see the up close with just the boots, the details and everything. That was fabulous.
Yeah, she's got split cut boots. It's a great looking outfit too. It's a really nice I think costume design.
And just what I expect for their quality, I see. That's what sometimes make you almost insane with Hot Toys. I think there are points when you can look just at an individual figure and see stuff where you're like, oh my God, that's got the quality and that was great and stuff. And then you run into some parts and you're just like thunking your head, like, what happened? Yeah. And then you're like, what you would give maybe an 8 out of 10 figure becomes 6 out of 10. But I agree. The head sculpt's a big thing with this one for me. It looks off. Not the facial sculpt. I think that looks fine, but how it meshes with the body.
It's not even like the likeness, because the likeness is pretty decent. I do agree, like it does look a little big, like it looks off scale to the body. Again, this might be one like you see it in person and maybe it comes off a little bit better, but just seeing it in photos and in this video, I will say though, like the seamless body does look really nice. Like the sculpted in like musculature on the arms, it's not as like like Shuri, the old Black Panther Shuri, her arms are very like toyish looking. I do think they did a better job with this one, at least at kind of like making it look more unique. And then they also like printed the tattoo on the skin, which is nice. So it's like there are some things to like about this body and about this figure overall. It's just the sculpt. There's just something about it. Like I feel like it's like 5% too big. It's very interesting. I will be getting this one, so of course I'll be honest with you guys when I get in hand what I think of it, because I still want it. I don't think it's like a total fail. I think it's still like something that I could have in my collection and be happy with it. But of course I want to see it in person, and then I'll make my final determination. If I get it in person, I just absolutely hate it. Of course I'll get rid of it, but I don't know, man. It's a tough one. It's a tough one because it's a very beloved character, and Valkyrie was almost kind of like our Wong, right? Like everybody was like, I want a Valkyrie, I want a Valkyrie, I want a Valkyrie, and then we got that third party one. That one didn't deliver, and then I know someone in the chat, I think it was Funky Cold Santa, said he picked it up and he's happy with, which I'm very glad that you're happy with. Just for me personally, it just wasn't quite there, and I decided to pass on it. But
would you guys say she's kind of maybe almost duality, and this is kind of maybe just some of the other guys in the panel, like? Well, we can have some time with Hot Toys where we like she comes with a lot of accessories. We like a lot of that kind of stuff, but the figure feels off just a little bit. But like when you see the Super Battle Droid, where that seems to nail the look and everything to the figure, like to the actual movie creation, like really well, like almost nails the look. But maybe because it doesn't have some die cast, it feels a little bit cheaper because it's all plastic. And that's kind of the dichotomy. Sometimes Boba Fettuccini's right. You can run into sometimes with Hot Toys where it can be one end or the other sometimes with them.
Yeah.
I know what you mean.
Mike, and
I
want to ask you this, just kind of a side question for you as you kind of talk about this figure. When I'm looking at this dude, I get reminded of, Reva. She has that kind of braided hair as well. And I feel like the braids on this figure don't look nearly as HD as they did on Reva, which is very interesting because Reva came out before this one. So,
yeah, I don't think any of the hair, even in the front, looks as good as the prototype. I've seen side-by-side pictures, and I think Sean mentioned this too. Like, it's a definite downgrade, not just like in a softness in the face, but also the hair. And for this figure, like her hair is like I think crucial to getting accurate and getting just to make this figure look like it's worth the price you're paying for it. You want to see that hair in HD, like you said.
Right.
Also, I feel like, I don't know, maybe this is a lighting in MRC's video here, but sometimes the coloration on her face doesn't match her body. It just looks like
it could be the lighting.
it could be the lighting, but in person that would bug me. I don't know. For me, the MCU died with Endgame, and so I could barely get through this film. But the film aside, I don't think you can find a more neutral person on this character. Like, I don't dislike her. I don't like her. Like it. I mean, if you, I don't know, if you Thanos snap this character out of the entire MCU, I honestly don't think I would even notice. So when I first saw the pictures, I was like, I don't think she looks that great. But then I watch a bunch of streams, and there's a lot of people out there that think she looks really great, or like an 8 or a 9, but still want her because they love the character. So it's one of those things that like struck me. I'm like, there are a lot of people that really wanted this figure or really love this character.
Yeah.
For me, I think Tessa Thompson's a really good actor, but like I said, I mean, I don't really have any desire for this figure. So I'm trying to look at this as objectively as possible. And those shoulders would annoy the heck out of me. But when you PO'd her, you knew what you were getting. So you can't really complain.
Right. We kind of have to, that's kind of what I was getting at earlier when I was telling Sean, like, and not that Sean was saying this, but like just in general, we have to try to separate, okay, what did we see? What were you presented up front? What can we complain about? And what can we be like, okay, we're being ridiculous because we saw that in the prototype, and like, people complaining about the shoulders not being seamless. I get that it would look much better, kind of like those Ahsoka shoulders, which looks fantastic, but we were presented with this here in terms of how the shoulders are designed on the body. So I feel like that part, if you pre-ordered it knowing that, you can't be upset that Hot Toys didn't rework the figure and give us a different body, because that's what was presented to us. Now, the sculpt being too big and the details lost in the hair and stuff, that's a completely different story,
I will say, sometimes the sculpt does look a little big. And I don't mean to insult Tessa Thompson. I know she's like considered a beautiful woman and all, but she's got like very kind of almost intense features, like not in a bad way, but
oh no, definitely.
You know what I mean? And
like her forehead or cheekbones.
Cheekbones are like really high, and there's nothing wrong with that. So, but she's got like very intense eyes, and so having those eyes in that fixed position, I think, like you said, can hurt a figure like this. But like, imagine a Steve Buscemi head sculpt. You'd want some movable eyes on that to bring some life into his face, and she's kind of like that for me. She's got that intensity that I'd want to be able to pose her and have her eyes looking somewhere. But
yeah, and look at her look at the scaling difference in the head versus
a good point.
The Volume 2 Gamora here. It's a huge difference.
I hadn't seen that.
Slender. This is my first time watching the video, and that's very telling right there. That shows you like she's got like a bit of a bobblehead.
Yeah,
very
she does.
Interesting. But again, it's like it may come off better in person with different lighting. This is one like I'm like dying to get just because I'm like, okay, I need to see what this looks like in person, because it's like the Cable figure that when the Cable figure was released, that was total turmoil. A lot of people were really upset, and I got it in person. I'm like, dude, this is like one of my favorite Hot Toys ever. I love this figure, but I don't think I'd be honest with you, I don't think I'm gonna feel that way about this one. For me, honestly, as an overall package, if we're factoring in the head sculpt and everything, this is like a 7 out of 10 for me. And I don't say that often about Hot Toys because I'm usually pretty pleased with the final product. Just for this one, I saw it and I was like, damn. And I have seen photos of her and I'm like, oh, it looks pretty good. But I'm seeing this video now, and I saw someone else's video earlier today, and I'm like, man, that doesn't look great in that lighting. And, I do want to see it in person. But again, it's a little bit concerning seeing it next to this Gamora, because I have this Gamora in person, so I'm very familiar with like the scaling of the head and everything. It looks a little big. The head looks a little big here.
Yeah, it does. I will say the outfit looks really good, though. I agree with Lane. Sean, you don't think that's even like they kind of nailed it there at all?
No, I think they did a good job on the outfit.
Yeah,
but I mean, you could have a really good figure with all the accessories, everything that you want, but the head sculpt, just that'll completely ruin the figure. And
yeah,
for me, it does.
Yeah.
So, I mean, I like the character Valkyrie, and how she represents and everything else. She did a good job for the little bit that she was in game. She did a great job in Thor Ragnarok. But
yeah, she did.
You know, in this movie, you know, it wasn't the best for her, but she still did a good job with the script that she had as an actress. Yeah. However, I mean, this was supposed to be her first Hot Toys figure. And I think Hot Toys really screwed up with this one.
Well,
yeah.
So that's me. That's why I made the comment earlier. If I was this actress, I'd be pissed.
Yeah, I mean, real quick, I want to point out also, like, this Black Widow, I have her in person. I love the figure. She does have a bit of like a big head thing going on as well, and like having them next to each other here in this video again, her face looks a little bit more slender than the Black Widow, but the Black Widow has a similar issue where the head kind of looks a little big at certain angles. So again, like, I think MRC did a good job here at kind of portraying that, putting these figures next to her, because it kind of gives you an idea of the scaling that's going on. Really quick, I want to read a couple comments, and then Lane, hold that thought. We'll jump back to you. Carlito says, the promo pics didn't do this figure any favors. She looked like she had googly eyes. She looks a lot better in MRC's video, and probably even better in hand. And yeah, I do think this one probably looks better in person. Again, I am skeptical, because what I'm seeing here, I'm like not totally blown away. Again, I saw it and I was like, oh man. But I'm definitely hoping that in person it looks a little bit better. Mark Palmer is here. Mark Palmer says, hey, everyone, getting my dose of 1/6 medicine. What's up, Mark? I hope you're doing well. Thank you so much for dropping in, and it's great to see you. And Cigars and Bacon is in the house. Cigars says, the proto was way better. The final looks like a goldfish.
He also calls her a blow pop later on. So.
Yeah, Valkyrie shaped like a blow pop. Oh, yeah. Maybe one of those sideshow, the designer toys of the ice cream cone. Where it's
what flavor of a blow pop is he referring to?
What does that mean?
I'm just curious because I want to know. Is it like sour apple?
They're all the same shape.
Is it watermelon? Is it strawberry?
Sour apple's the best.
You say I like bring up random stuff. Wow.
Yeah, that was a Lane comment.
Dude, I'd say everyone here brings up random stuff. You're not special.
This is true. Well, you know.
Lane, what was your thought? And then Chris, if you want to add anything before we move on. I know everybody's like, oh, come on, get to the next stuff.
Yeah. For once,
so Lane, a brief final thought, Lane.
Yeah, I would say this figure got as much effort and time as, unfortunately, the Valkyrie's character was given in the actual movie to do anything, which was she wasn't given much. This does make me wonder how, when it comes out, Wanda's even look without the long hair, but I think have a similar kind of feel to it, without the full long hair on the WandaVision one of her.
Yeah.
I do wonder how the Shuri, like her head and neck is a little bit long too, but you don't notice it because of the long sculpted hair.
I wonder how too. Wanda's shoulders are broader. Like she's got very narrow shoulders here and a big head.
You see what I mean about the Shuri arms, though? They kind of look like very basic, like generic arms. So, I got to give them credit at least for the body. I think the body looks really nice.
I do makes me wonder how the Shuri Black Panther is going to look with the head sculpt when you have.
I think that's going to be a lot different because she has those really tight braids on her head, and and the actress has a much smaller face too. Like Mike said, Tessa Thompson does have like some pretty strong features, so that probably played a part in it as well. Apparently my mic's low. Can you guys hear me, guys, in the chat? How does my mic sound? Does it sound quiet?
Hey guys, I'm seeing Connor's lips move, but I can't hear him.
Connor's on the stream?
Oh, here we go. Guys in the chat, can you hear me? Connor? Do I sound okay?
Are you up there?
You sound. Wait, was that the Whisper Man? It sounds like the Whisper Man.
Does it sound like I'm whispering?
So that's what Sean was saying, but
can anyone hear him at all?
Big Dog Pound, paid everybody. Okay. Well, I'm turning my gain up a little bit. You guys didn't tell me last stream, and I literally like bass boosted you guys. Cigar says loud and clear. Okay. Thank you guys. I appreciate it. So it might be affecting certain people.
She said good now.
Okay. When Sean first came in, he was hearing me quietly, but Chris said I sounded fine. And also, guys, if I ever am bass boosting you guys, please let me know, because you guys are too nice. You let me go through a whole stream, and I watch the replay, and I'm like, like the whole stream. So, but thank you everybody for clarifying that. I appreciate that. Sorry, Lane. Did you finish your thought? I could.
I was finished.
Okay. Chris, did you have any final thoughts on Valkyrie before we move on?
Only thing I'd say is, like, I don't think I would bash her as harsh as everybody else is. Like, yeah, there's some problems to it, but at the end, how I look at it is, if you're collecting it, you are, and if you're not, you're not. Because I don't know if they're gonna do another one of her. I did like her in the other films as well. Now, I have my own separate reasons why I'm not picking her up, but yeah, I feel like we've had worse in the past from Hot Toys, but so those are my two cents. Nothing crazy. I like the colors.
Chris came in as the reasonable one this time, guys. It actually threw me for a loop. I didn't expect that. I was expecting him to crap on her. Beskar says the lighting in this video doesn't help this figure at all. Better pics on the gram from 1/6 lovers. Yeah, those might have been the photos that I saw the other day. I shared. Thanks for putting that out. I shared a photo in the Hot Toys Hotline chat the other day, and I was like, oh, she looks pretty decent here. Yeah, this is kind of like, MRC has that style of lighting where certain figures, it doesn't show all of their features in the face and everything. And I guess with this one, because it's already kind of like you really need to see it in certain lighting for it to look good, it just doesn't come off here. But yeah, and cigars, yeah, that's what I was saying earlier. I don't know if you were here. I was like, and Mike and I were kind of briefly talking about this. It's like Reva's hair looks so much more HD, and she has the same kind of braids in the front. And
it's almost like paint's missing from Valkyrie.
Yeah, and also like the little baby hairs on the front. I don't know if you guys are familiar.
That's what I'm saying. About. It looks like it's missing.
Yeah, it's like missing a little paint on the baby hairs.
Yeah, the transition from skin to hair is not great.
Yeah,
right.
I mean, because you could see the sculpt, but then there's no paint there. But when he was showing Black Widow, I felt like that even looked a little bit worse, that version of Black Widow. And I actually think that Black Widow isn't as bad as what it looked in his video.
No, it looks better in person, but that one has the same thing where the head's a little too big on the body, and especially if you look at it from certain angles. But yeah, guys, we're going to move on. Like I said, for me, I'll be totally honest with you guys, when I get it in person, I'm not blown away by it. I don't totally hate it, but obviously everybody's going to have different opinions on this one. Mimi Plays says, and by the way, I want to say what's up to a couple of people. I saw some people pop in when I was getting a sound check from you guys. Pablo is here. What's up, Pablo? Great to see you. Jordan Skinner is here. Jordan's the reason I've got my rooted Joker sculpt now, and I'm absolutely in love with this figure now that I have the rooted Joker. And then Mimi Plays was just asking a question. Mimi says, who is Valkyrie Thor? I think a lot of people, I don't know if you're asking who the character is, or if you're being smart because no one, I don't know, but if you're actually curious, this character was from, originally we saw the character in Ragnarok, and a lot of us fell in love with the character from Ragnarok. Hot Toys never did a figure of her. We saw her reappear in Love and Thunder in a big way. She has the Thunderbolt and everything, but the figure here that's portraying this version of Valkyrie is the one that we're talking about. So, but we're gonna move on, guys. Now, for those of you that read the title of the stream before you came in, you might have seen something about a BVS 2.0. So, someone that is a member of the community that often gets information from Hong Kong and stuff, has said that the word from a very reliable source right now is a couple 2.0's from the BVS line from Hot Toys. Now, of course, guys, with all rumors, take it with a grain of salt. I'm just sharing this with you guys so we can have some discussion about it and kind of gauge everybody's thoughts on, what they would like to see from these possible 2.0's / reissues here. But the word is right now is that there's going to be a 2.0 of the Superman, and there's going to be a 2.0 of the Armored Batman. Now, the Superman, I mean, it was like, oh, okay, that one makes sense. InArt put one out. We got InArt BVS Superman on pre-order. But the armored Batman kind of threw me for a loop because, you know, I just got mine not long ago, and I know Mike just got his not long ago. And I'm like thinking to myself, like, I can think of some stuff that can be improved, and we're going to kind of talk about that here. But also I'm like, I think it looks pretty good considering the date that it came out. I'm like, I don't necessarily think that would have been one that I jumped on, but you know, Hot Toys is probably seeing the hype behind the BVS Batman 2.0, the main suit. I'm sure they got a shit ton of pre-orders for that figure. Let's be real. They probably got a crap ton of pre-orders. So they're probably looking at it and then saying like, well, why don't we make some companion pieces and kind of scale them up properly? Because that is the one thing, I guess, that we could say about the Armored Batman 2.0. It's going to scale a lot better with that new BVS Batman because obviously we know he's gigantic. He's super muscular. He's very built. And obviously we saw the new 2.0 BVS Batman next to the original one, and it's a decent amount more bulky. So Hot Toys may be thinking to themselves, let's give it the Iron Man treatment. Let's shore everything up with the 2.0s. And it makes a lot of sense if you think of it that way. Now, I want to also take a look at this original BVS Superman. Shout out to whoever's channel this is, Anthony's Customs. This is an older video, of course, guys, but just to kind of give you guys an idea of what this figure looks like currently, this is the original 1.0, the Superman. Now, of course, guys, you know, the thing that comes up with this one, like I said, is, you know, InArt's offering a really good offering for the BVS Superman. I pre-ordered it day one. I think it looks fantastic. I love pretty much everything about it, apart from, we talked about that before, that flight pole in the back. That's my only gripe with that thing, is I hate that flight pole attachment. But this is the original Hot Toys BVS Superman, and looking at it here, number one, first thing you guys are seeing is this right here, right? I mean, you guys know the original Hot Toys Superman, and Chris did pull it up because that's actually the Superman that Chris has in his collection. So, Chris, you'd be able to speak on this, and a lot of you guys that have some of the older Hot Toys Superman, Cavill Superman figures in your collection, you know that issue with the arms not going flat to the sides. That's the first thing that came to mind for me. And now, Chris, you may not notice it as much when you don't have the black suit in hand, but when you have the black suit in hand especially, the arms go considerably closer to the sides, like almost completely flat to the sides. A lot of collectors were taking a Dremel to the body underneath and kind of filing it down so you can lower those arms more. Chris, being that you have this figure in your collection, what would you want to see from a 2.0 for this figure to make you be like, okay, I'm going to sell my old one and I'm going to pick up this new one? And also, you know, take into account that we have an offering from InArt that looks pretty fantastic, you know. Do you have any interest at all in seeing what Hot Toys puts out, considering you have one in your collection and you seem to be relatively happy with it from what I understand from when we've talked about it?
Yeah, I am for sure. And, you know, Superman is my all-time favorite superhero. I'm not super into like DC, but I do love me some Superman, and especially Henry Cavill. Now, I was interested in InArt, but now that Hot Toys has kind of entered the conversation, because I'm so used to the products from Hot Toys, I know what to expect. The only thing that will kill it for me is if Hot Toys doesn't improve and they just do some basic paint apps and kind of repackage it, calling it a 2.0, maybe another accessory. If they literally look Hot Toys, or I mean at InArt right now, and they don't do anything different, it's basically a slap in the face, and they should just discard it. Like, because they got, like you were talking about, the musculature, the legs are right, his arms go by, you know, his side. The suit color's a little bit better. There's more metallic shining through. You get the swap head sculpts, because this version, for those of you who don't know, doesn't have like the laser eyes. You also get two capes with InArt. You get the like the list goes on for InArt, and there's so much innovation. You don't have this waist clamp, so there's a ton that Hot Toys would need to do in order for me to pick up that 2.0, which I would ultimately like to, but right now it's still InArt's game.
Yeah, it's well said. And again, it's tough to see the road ahead in terms of Hot Toys doing their own version of it, because you know, a lot of us, I don't want to just speak for myself, a lot of us really love that InArt Superman prototype. It looks fantastic, and I was immediately captured by it. I immediately had to pre-order it. Real quick, though, big shout out to X-Man Supreme. He says, what's up, y'all? I was stumped in Werewolf lore. Well, I hope you're doing well, X-Man. Thank you so much for being here. But yeah, like, the in-art prototype just looks so good, and I really quickly jumped on that day one pre-order on that one. So for me, I'm kind of right there with you, Chris. I want to see more. What can they do outside of, okay, we gave you the chunk of kryptonite, or InArt's giving us the spear that came with the armored Batman, the battle damage armored Batman. Like, they're gonna have to, yeah, exactly, the chunk of kryptonite. Like, they're gonna have to go the diorama based route, maybe like recreate like a mini rooftop scene or something. They're gonna have to throw in extra stuff, like you said, an alternate sculpt as well to make this worth it.
Right. It's also crazy because that kryptonite there was an exclusive part. It was like their deluxe or exclusive. So if you didn't have that version, you don't even get that, and then you're just left with some hands.
So it's a very bare bones release initially. So I mean, I guess that's a positive thing in that they can definitely open up, a lot of extra accessories that they didn't originally include with the first release. Again, it's just going to be how's it stack up.
Also, you can see in it, I don't know if it's this guy's camera, but his looks pretty spanking new, and it looks shiny and stuff and darker. Mine's got some age, and it looks nowhere near that shiny anymore.
Right. Yeah, this is an older video, so this is probably when it first came out, when the guy was unboxing it. So that makes sense. Stevie Weeby is here. Stevie Weeby says, this ain't a Thursday. Is this another universe? A Tuesday stream? Yeah, we're switching up a little bit, trying out a Tuesday stream. Stevie Weeby, thanks for hanging out with us. And Stevie Weeby wants a BBL Superman. And if it's the BBL that I'm thinking of, I hope you get your BBL Superman, dude. Cigar says, we're going to see a lot of reissues, 2.0's, 4.0's. Here's to hoping Hot Toys revisits 80s, 90s franchises. Amen to that. That desperately need upgrades. Yeah, the whole Terminator line. Just redo all of those, please.
Hell yeah.
Please. Alien. Sarah Connor, Alien, Predator. I know we already have 2 classic Predators, but we could use another one. Give us an original classic Predator, the Jungle Hunter from the first film. Like, come on now.
Hey, Chris, does the in the S, does yours have that dark navy outlining of the yellow? Because that's not accurate. Yeah. So
I mean, dark like navy. It looks like more of a black,
like black,
but
yeah. I mean, that's not how it looked in the film, at least as I recall. So there's some room for like minor improvements in the suit, I'd say, but obviously the body is probably
it's like
the main.
I definitely think InArt's getting a lot more accuracies going on, like with the lettering in his bicep, where it's positioned. All those small little details in the suit, because there's a lot once you get close up on it, all the patterns and stuff like that. Now with Hot Toys doing another, Cavill sculpt, I would hope this time they also it never bothered me, but I know it bothered other people, and that being his hair.
Yeah,
did they fix that with the black
way.
suit? Or
they didn't.
Yeah.
They didn't.
Keep doing
I
it
don't
the
think
same,
so. I think they kept it the
way.
same. Yeah.
So
that's obviously an easy thing for them to fix, is the hair being combed over the wrong way. And X-Man does make a good point. Considering they went all out for the 2.0 Batman, I could see them kind of going all out for this one. And they do have some pressure on them as well, right? Whether you want to admit it or not, they know that people are going to make their purchasing decision looking at this one versus the InArt. And being that they have to follow up, the price point's going to have to be right, and there's going to be have to be enough changes to where it makes it worthwhile. Also, another thing to add, guys, is the cape, right? That wired cape on the Justice League 2-pack, the black suit, was terrible.
Oh, yeah.
Really, like bouncy wire. It was such a pain in the ass.
I like
to do
their
micro
Drake one
adjustments.
on this.
Yeah, like the Drake cape is fine, but InArt's smart by giving us the options with the posable cape and everything. And if Hot Toys wanted to follow up, I think that'd be a good idea, because we saw it with the Batman as well. We got 2 different capes with different wiring and stuff, so you could put them on the bike and everything. But
yeah they have to.
And you're right. InArt really did position themselves well with that price.
It's hard to say no to it with what you get and the focus on the detail. It's really hard to say no, right?
And we can get free shipping from some sellers here in the U.S. So it's like, it's pretty nice. So
what is the price for InArt's Superman?
I think it was
I thought it was like $350.
$350,
yeah.
Yeah.
So
Which
very
is basically
competitive.
what the resale value of a Superman is for Hot Toys. Like they go for
Right, like the
somehow.
Justice League Superman, he's tanked quite a bit since the NART BVS has been announced, so people have more options. But I mean, that BVS Superman at one point was selling for almost $500 consistently. So, or excuse me, the Justice League Superman. I said BVS. Obviously, the black suit has never sold for anything because that 2-pack people split it up constantly, so it was just getting sold and sold and sold. But I do think, guys, looking at this one, there's a lot that they can improve on. You know,
Yeah.
it's because it's just
How
been
old
so
is this
long.
one now?
Chris, when did this one come out? Do you remember? It's been a minute. I mean,
don't. Yeah,
was it 20?
I'd have
was it
to look at
2016?
The figures were announced before the movie even came out. So both Batman and Superman were announced
This is
before.
an older, basically in Hot Toys years. This is a very old figure.
Oh yeah.
So there should only be improvement.
X-Man, an accessory, and I've told Chris this many times because it's one of my favorite moments in the fight between the two. When Batfleck shoots the kryptonite gas bomb and he catches it and it shoots in his face. I was really hoping that InArt would do a grenade with like a plastic effect of the fog going in his face from the kryptonite.
Yeah, that'd be cool.
That's what I would want to see Hot Toys do. They could use that same plastic they use for the kryptonite, just kind of make it look like fog and have the fog blowing in his face. That would be so cool. I get it. Like, it's not going to be 100% accurate because that's very
2015.
wispy. 2015. Wow, it's been a minute.
Just a minor correction. It was about $400. You know, Kit had it for $399.
Yeah,
so,
but Kit does include shipping. So through Spec Fiction, I
Yeah.
think closer to $350 is about right if you pay
Oh, is
in
that
full.
right? Okay.
Yeah, because of course, actually, Spec Fiction charges shipping, so it's $350 prior to shipping. So yeah, at the end of the day, out the door, you're going to be paying about $400.
Sometimes it depends
most
on the
places.
item if they charge shipping. Or
Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, I know. Like for my Joker 2-pack, they charge shipping, but it was only $50 through Spec Fiction, which wasn't
Yeah.
bad at all in my opinion.
Which is
still,
US
that's super
shipping these
competitive.
days pretty
Yeah.
good.
Yeah, for sure.
Just
Yeah,
one,
the Kryptonite Spear for sure. X-Men.
Oh,
I think
yeah.
that's another one that they can include. But, sorry, go ahead, Mike. Sorry, I didn't mean to.
No, I was going to say like one minor thing about the 2.0 for the armored Batman. I think that's really going to be hard for InArt to compete price wise, right? So I think because I could just see them. I mean, how do they give the InArt treatment to a figure like that for under 500?
Yeah, and I am gonna pull up a video of that one. So hold that thought because we're gonna that's the one that we really need to dive into because again, and you know, Mike and I, we have a unique take because we just recently got it. I mean, I only got mine like a couple of months prior to Mike, so I have some interesting thoughts about that one because I have some complaints about that one that I could see them address. That maybe could be addressed. Yeah, Matt, I think a lot of those older Arkham figures would really benefit. I mean, not that a lot of them are bad, because some of the, like the Arkham Knight is such a fantastic figure. Some of those figures are pretty nice, but
That Arkham Knight is quite a puzzle to figure out how to switch it around to the red and everything. I saw one switch that around, and I was like, that looks like it took a while. They're like, yeah, it did. It's not fun.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
the
true.
Batman Beyond from Arkham Knight is an amazing figure. That's one of my favorite Hot Toys.
Yeah, I got that one.
And it's
too.
relatively inexpensive, too. But,
They
wow,
should give
guys.
us-
Carlito says the Black Suit Superman is the worst Hot Toy made. The cape is horrible, like you said. Yeah, the cape,
It's pretty
I
bad.
wouldn't say the worst Hot Toy made. I would probably say the Black Suit Superman's better than that Valkyrie, but yeah, the cape is miserable. Like when I was posing it, it's like it just bounces. It just bounces the whole time. And you're trying to do micro adjustments, and it's like it doesn't want to do it. The wire is way too bouncy. For me, you need that thicker wire where it really holds micro adjustments well. You know, it holds that pose. And like Chris said, I do like the drape cape, but there's different applications, right? If you have him in a pose like this, the classic like Christopher Reeve pose where he's flying, you're gonna want that cape to have some like wind gust under it, you know, when you're posing them up.
That's why I wanted best of both worlds.
Yeah, right. Have to.
Yeah, there's no excuse that they can't put wiring and do stuff like they did with Moon Knight.
Exactly.
Like that they've done that Moon Knight. There is no that they did it for a figure release like Moon Knight, who's like in the MCU on the downslope. That guy's like at most B+ to C+.
I'm sorry, I just
like
love
character.
this pose, Lane.
Yeah.
Oh no!
I think-
flickered LED and
looks like one of my poses.
yeah.
What do you guys think about room for improvement in the like a secondary head sculpt? Like we got the second head sculpt in the black suit, but it was like
with the
You know,
pretty
I can tell you
awkward.
exactly what I would want.
I
can
would
tell you
love-
exactly what I want.
Go ahead.
So you remember when I can't I can't remember what it was. Maybe it was one Batman sprayed him with the mounted sentries, but you know that kind of look where he goes.
Yep.
That would be perfect. That
Be
would be
great.
amazing.
Yeah.
And hey, if we're doing ideas, why not have a display base that has mounted at least one mounted sentry on it, so you can just have them like, and you know those little smoke effects that Hot Toys does.
Mm-hmm.
Bro, they could.
Yeah.
There's so many bases they could do. They could do one where like you got. I don't even know how they do it, but like some pebbles coming off the ground, like
Oh,
he's
yeah.
flying, or like an indention at least in the concrete, like just something.
Mm-hmm.
Or like have them
That's a good idea.
crack him over the head with a sink. Why not give the new armored Batman a sink?
I'd rather see the grenade he catches like explode it, like them somehow.
Yeah,
do
and
that.
Don had a good idea. Like put just a flicker LED in the grenade and have the smoke effect. Yeah.
Even better.
Yeah, something as simple as that would be cool.
And Cigars
'cause
is
they
saying,
did
what if they
this
give us
LED
the
pretty good.
Batfleck mobile and nothing else? That'd be. I think a lot of people probably be pretty happy. They want
I'd love
so
that.
bad. Yeah.
I don't want to see Hot Toys because they've done it with their Superman or not Spider-Mans now. Is this ankle bunching? That's one thing for this one at least. He had terrible over time ankle bunching. Like it's bad.
That's what has me worried with when Toby finally comes with his Spider-Man.
I've had no problems with the Andrew. They fixed it with him, and it looks really good.
Yeah, I feel like it's tough with those cloth suits, kind of how the suit's applied over the actual body. So I feel like it's tough. But I mean, I'm very interested to see, you know, the final product from InArt, how everything looks, the cut and sew, how it fits. Like that's really gonna say, okay, InArt really stepped up their game.
I will say from these 2.0, this is the one I'm much more interested in, the armored Batman. Because do you think if for this 2.0, if they were to do the armored Batman, would you want it because I figure they're just going to probably do one version of it. Like if maybe somehow they were able to come up with like how they do with Iron Man's, where
there
they
you
have
go, Lane. Exactly where my mind
replacements.
was. Yep.
So
That'd
that
be awesome.
there doesn't need to be a Ben Affleck head sculpt for this, but if there's an alternate sculpt with a partially broken headpiece like that with it, and if somehow like on the shoulders or on the chest, I would keep stuff within reason for expectation, but have some switch out pieces for battle damage you can put onto it. Like,
I mean, Lane,
for
looking at these next to each, well, yeah, they're kind of next to each other.
Dude, how many?
How easy would it be? So yeah, that's why I wanted to remind everybody. First of all, that black
God.
chrome announcement is so ridiculous. Like, it's
it-
cool, but it's just
It
so
is
random.
cool.
It fits about as well as that Death Trooper black.
Right,
Chrome,
it's
which
just it's
actually
random.
wasn't
It's
black
still
chrome.
cool because it's Batfleck and it has that nice blacked out look, but it's just so random, right? But Lane,
Which
that's
one's more
exactly.
accurate? Not the middle, obviously. But
So, I mean, obviously, these are different versions, right? You know, you have your clean version, which is what Mike and I have. That's from the start of the battle when you first come from. Well, here I am. You know, that's that version, right? And then this is the sink busting version here on the Chris hates when I bring that
don't
up.
disrespect these right here.
He got his
can
ass
hear you.
kicked, man. Just get over it, dude.
Nah, he took it easy. We've been through this.
But yeah, no. And Cigars is kind of going along with what we were all saying. Lane and I, the 2.0 would be smart to release a clean version with swap out battle damage. I totally agree, and like that's an opportunity to throw in a DX announcement and make a DX announcement that makes more sense, right?
Yeah, that'd be cool.
Yeah, and I would agree with that too. I think the black chrome should stay where it is. Let those people that purchase that one, you know, the people that purchase that one have
That one
the black
doesn't make
chrome
sense
version.
to put back out.
Doesn't make any, right. That should be a special release, just like, you know, the Arena Boba Fett. Don't ever do anything like that again. Leave it where it is. But
Yeah.
I think, a DX release that comes with the swap out battle damage parts, like it. Looking at it, guys, it wouldn't be difficult to change it out. And how interesting is it though, the difference between the gold on these two? I'm just now noticing that you have like a darker like brass color versus like a gold, and it's the same on the little blades on the calves as well. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
I never noticed that.
Yeah, I was going to mention that too, because even in person, like it's not just lighting here. Even in person, it's pretty difficult to tell that that's gold or behind glass in a detail or whatever. Like it just all kind of blends. It'd be nice to see that pop. Also, they can add some. Not that this, you know, the armor even in the film lent itself to much articulation, but just to even be able to get the head to look up better. if you wanted to recreate that scene where he's looking up at Superman, really hard to get this head back. So just like little things like that. But you said this before. I mean, I don't look at this figure and say, man, this really needs a 2.0. Maybe because it's new to me. I haven't had him in my collection for 5 or so years. But I think he looks pretty awesome as is right now as an older figure. So we'll see.
Yeah, I like how everybody's dropping the Dunkin' commercial from the Super Bowl. Everybody's talking about the dunking, yeah. But yeah, another thing that I would like to see with this one, I think we could all agree as well, is like USB power for the eyes, just so we can get some like nice bright. Because obviously in that scene, you know, that's really like the little bit of humanity you kind of see there in Batman's face amongst all this armor, is those glowing eyes and that mouthpiece. So some different swap out mouth plates and some USB LED eyes would look really nice on this figure, and I think it would really bring it up a notch in your display, especially if you can kind of like adjust your lighting down to make it a little bit lower so you can really see those eyes. I think that would be definitely really good. For those of you guys that don't know, another thing with this one is in order to get some like okay articulation out, you actually have to like disconnect the shoulder plates. It actually says it in the manual. It actually has a little point where it like kind of slots in. It's kind of a pain in the ass to do it, but it does work. You disconnect the shoulder plates and it allows you to kind of pose the arms up a little bit more.
Oh, okay.
Because the way that the arms are linked together, you really can't do that otherwise.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing on this one, the ankles are really weak. And
yeah.
So if I know it's difficult because he's very top heavy and all that armor, but maybe if they put some ratchets or something in those ankles, maybe some ratcheted ball pegs, because they have done those randomly on certain announcements in the past. There's a lot of quality of life things they could do. Again, I think the biggest thing for them.
Do you want some die cast?
I mean, of course, we're going to take die cast if it makes sense. I think biggest.
I have all 3 of these, and there's nothing wrong with the ankles.
Yeah, the ankles on mine are very loose, and I know another person told me their ankles are very loose. Sean, I can't help it that you get the cream of the crop, dude.
I don't always get the cream of the crop.
You got the best Batman Begins Batman. Yeah. You got the like, prototype of the matte black.
It's only with DC, dude. Okay, apparently it's only with DC.
Bad luck with.
Yeah, didn't you get the matte black like first?
He got the prototype of the matte black. They just sent it.
I got one that's accurate and one that's not.
Okay, right.
Cigar says they definitely need to upgrade the battle damage version. The chest piece looks like someone tried to melt plastic with a magnifying glass. Yeah, I could see that. It's definitely like a little soft in the chest area, like especially when you look at like the
for swap outs or not. Probably.
Yeah, I mean, I think they very much could do swap out parts for this one. I think it's very possible. Like, especially after having the figure in person, like, you know, you remove that kind of bandolier belt across the chest, that comes off because that gets like damaged, obviously. I think he would probably. Does his cape get damaged? I can't remember if his cape gets damaged or not.
No.
It doesn't get damaged. So they wouldn't have to give a swap out. Yeah, so that's very doable. Swap out head sculpt, some different mouth plates, like someone else. Mr. Mom Ryan said it would be interesting if they're able to give us Ben Affleck mouth plates with these armored versions. At the very least, I'm guessing they'll probably just reuse, you know, previous mouth plates they've done for this figure.
See, the one thing I don't like about the battle damage, though, with the glowing eye piece there, you know, after that part of his, the mask is ripped open, that light is only there for maybe 2 seconds.
Yeah, like it fades away.
And then the rest of the time you see his eye.
Yeah.
You can see both eyes, and I wish they would replace that.
Yeah.
You know, that would be an upgrade alone right there. But swappable plates and everything with the design of this, I don't know if it's really possible. It could be, but I would rather have a completely updated full battle damage version that's correctly done with all the scrapes and everything across the legs and the armor and the arms.
Yeah.
That happened in the movie versus like a partial thing like what we get with an Iron Man.
If you could keep one, Sean, which would you keep?
If I had to only keep one, I would keep the battle damage one because that's the one that comes with the spear.
Oh yeah.
The others don't.
Everybody likes
spear
battle damage.
The thing about the battle damage on this, like, it does kind of look like that in the film. It's weird how he gets it. I think it's from he slides on the ground, right?
Oh yeah,
it's not like lasers or Yeah, he gets thrown and then just like he slides, and when he gets up, that's what it looks like. But
Yeah, and the fact that with everything that he's wearing, and he can jump that high when they're on the roof, and then go through the window with Superman.
Brick, how's it going, bro? Good to see you. Thanks for being here. And same with Hot Toys Collector. Good evening to you as well.
What's up, guys?
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think, you know, as a current owner of this figure, you know, your first thought is, how are they going to make this better, man? Come on, I just got this. But when you really sit down and look at it, there's a lot of ways. And, you know, the undersuit material as well is not the best. So there are ways they can certainly improve on this one. Again, like if they could do a dynamic where there's two bases that kind of connect, you know, maybe Batman's base has that sentry gun on it or something. Like there's a lot of things they could do. I'm very interested to see if these rumors come to fruition, because I do think a lot of people, especially the armored bat, like at the very least, you know, everybody pre-ordered the InArt Superman and they're very happy with it. At the very least, people are going to buy this to go with that BVS Superman. So this one's going to sell very well if they do it. I won't be upset about it because, again, I pre-ordered the InArt Superman. I want something that scales a little better, and I'm going to have that new BVS 2.0. So I'll happily sell mine off because someone's going to want mine. You know, they're not going to want to wait a year plus to get the new one, so they'll happily buy mine. And I'll upgrade to this one when it comes out. So I would like to see it. I think it's a smart decision if they do go through with this. Like I said, at the end of the day, guys, don't go telling your buddies, oh, Hot Toys is going to do this, that, and the other. It's just a rumor for now. But of course, something that seems pretty strong, I always like to share it with you guys because, especially if it's something where I'm like, you know, I think I could definitely see this happening. It seems like most of the people I've talked to, like, yeah, I could see that. Hobby Halbert is here. What's up, Hobby Halbert? What's up, my friend? I hope you're doing well. Hobby, so we were just talking about this. We were saying we would love to see them do kind of swap out battle damage parts. Maybe do like a DX or, you know, if they want to return to the 2-packs that we know and love, which we never ever get, I would love to see a 2-pack of these guys again with the connecting bases. That would be pretty cool. But
you just reminded me, Connor, as the camera panned up, like he's got the like the onesie pajama crotch going on this old suit that they upgraded with the 2.0. So that would be an improvement on this one too.
Right. Just even having that would make a huge difference.
Yeah,
right? Yeah. The old suit material is pretty bad. I remember when I first got my armored Batman, like the shoulder plate was actually stuck to the suit, and I had to like slowly peel it away and apply heat because it was really stuck on there. Whatever like they used on the surface of that suit, it just didn't mesh well with touching things.
I'll just say, when I see stuff like this, like seeing just a little bit part of, even though it's not the full Ben Affleck, seeing the kind of just part of his face under there, this looks cool. But I'll tell you, just pop into my head here is I'm getting so jazzed just thinking about the Darth Vader with Anakin.
Man, trust me.
Like seeing this here and everything, I'm sorry, that's what's popping into my head when I'm looking at this right now. Like, it's coming.
We've all got that on order, right? Well, you guys all have that one.
Of course, Connor has 2.
I have 2 of them. Yeah, I know.
I don't even want to ask how many Sean has.
Sean's like, what do you mean? I only have 3 on order, dude. Come on. No, Sean mainly double up on the clones and stuff, right, Sean? Cylon, what's up? I hope you're doing well. I love the profile picture. Boy, that's badass. How you doing? I hope you're doing well. Peyton says this might be a dopo for me. Yeah, dude, if they do it too, come on now. If you're a Batfleck fan, are you gonna say no to a 2.0 armored bat? I don't think so.
And it's like, and you can get his regular suit, and you can get this one and have them pair together. So it's not
right.
Like
if they do that too, if they do that like 2 armor option with the swap outs, I mean, how are you gonna say no to that, dude? That's gonna be like the ultimate armored Batman. We're going to take a look, guys, just because I feel like it, and I want to be reminded of how good the InArt Superman is. We're going to remind ourselves of, hey, if Hot Toys does a Superman, who are they competing with? Well, this is what they're competing with, guys.
But
that looks good.
See, if they do another armored, I would think if they didn't do that 2-pack like you want, it would probably be the clean version, just because didn't the battle damage come out last? Like,
okay.
Is what I mean.
Oh, yeah.
So.
Way to shoot us down, Chris.
Just saying.
No,
Chris is being real.
Chris is being real.
Chris, you know, Howie is he's gonna maybe one day, maybe not today, maybe not tomorrow, but one day the stream's gonna pop up before these are announced, and he's gonna be like, let me see what these guys want. And then he's going to accidentally skip to the part of you saying, why don't they just do the clean version? That came out first, right? And then that's what we're going to get, man. Come on, dude. Chris, really quickly for us. Just say, hey, Howie, could you give us the DX with both swap out options? Thank you.
Hey, Howie, can you give us both swap out options?
Thank you. All right,
Yeah.
end stream.
And then
Howie,
all of a sudden,
send the clip.
he got like, okay, now you got the male version, clean version, and the female version, clean version, right here. You got the swap out parts. And we'll be like, damn you, Chris.
I hear Denobi's impression of Howie in my head whenever we talk about him, which is great.
Back to the Superman discussion. I had a question that we didn't really go into depth for, and that was could Hot Toys compete with the InArt BVS Superman offering? And again, it's going to be one of those things. It's going to be very difficult for them to compete. They're really going to have to show out for this one. Again, I got to stop what I'm doing because the Jedi Knights Watch is here. What's up, bro? How's it going, man? Great to see you. Guys, go check out the Jedi Knights Watch. Check out Evil Sneaker. All the boys in the chat hanging out. Brick Artemis. I'm slacking on my promo for my boys. But what's going on, guys? I hope you're doing well. Yeah.
Tomorrow.
Oh, boy. Steve's like, oh, boy, look who's here. But, we were talking about earlier the wired cape, and, like, this is what I want to see from a wired cape, man. Like, obviously we haven't like held it in person and kind of seen how it really manipulates other than seeing it in the photo here. But I do want to see this in person and kind of feel the suit material. Cause Hot Toys, we kind of generally know what to expect. If you collect a lot of Spider-Man figures, you know what to expect from the suit. If you collect multiple Superman figures, you generally know what to expect from the suit. With the BVS 2.0 Batman, we may not know what to expect from the suit. We got to wait and see what that is and see, what Hot Toys did with the suit. But I know, Chris, you're probably looking at your BVS and you're like, oh, man, I need to get this one.
Just need to pull it out of the screen.
But dude, yeah, like the proportions on this one look less like superhero, typical superhero look, and more like a super being,
That's what I was saying. He was a big dude it wasn't like Thunder Thigh.
Right, we're not talking about Homelander here. Homelander had a fully padded suit. Anthony Starr had a padded suit, and it was just a skinny guy in a suit. Yeah. Henry Cavill has some muscle, and this is really mostly just him under the suit. So, and it's just like The Rock, too. I don't know if you guys know, like The Rock, when he played Black Adam, he didn't want to, they presented him with like a padded muscular suit, and he's like, no, I want to, put in the work. Put in the work in the gym before we start filming, and I want it to be my body. So, this kind of looks more like Henry Cavill's body as opposed to a modified suit with some padding in it. Which the Hot Toys bodies, even like the Justice League, I don't think it looks bad. It's just not quite right in some places. And when you look at this InArt one, that kind of makes you realize, where InArt made those tweaks to make it look more realistic there.
Absolutely. And by the way, on the cape, I was just going over Supergirl, the Hot Toys Supergirl promo pics. The cape looks really good. I mean, it's got that, like, none of these capes were, or very few of them were live action anyway, right? They were digital, so they had an advantage in the film.
Absolutely.
They did a really good job, at least in the promo pics with her cape. So
what a 360 for that figure, dude. Like, that's a whole different figure. I'm glad I pre-ordered that one because I really that suit is beautiful. Like, they did such, and like we talked about it before, like the proportions and everything. Really quick though, Mike, since we are just one day away from Valentine's Day, you have a proposal here.
What's he gonna say?
I mean, listen, how can I turn that down? Absolutely, of course.
You can literally just say no. I mean, it's just like, no, thank you.
I could say no, but listen, we've got a hot date tomorrow night, he and I, so I'm not going to say no now.
There you go, guys. You got your answer.
Okay,
so
wait, that's not a really good announcement, so let me give you an opening so you can say that again, okay? Are you ready?
I'm ready.
And tonight, we have the announcement
from that's quite the opening.
Mike, the man, the myth, the hat-wearing mofo, about tomorrow night with the Jedi Night Watch. Mike, take it away.
Yeah, baby. Catch me tomorrow night, 9:30 Eastern Standard Time at the Jedi Night's Watch on the Wolfpack Crew. Catch us there live, baby.
Nice.
All right.
There you go.
Thank you, Sean.
You're welcome, Mike.
But yeah, guys, and the other thing, like we said, is like Hot Toys could really benefit from having a swap out sculpt as well for their Superman, because this sculpt here from InArt is just beautiful. We had our convictions about the standard sculpt originally when it was first shown off, which I'm very happy with that now after seeing like the subtle tweaks made. But this sculpt was never a failure. This sculpt was just
Yeah.
Chef's kiss right out the boat.
I would say I find this sculpt actually better than, like, say, the Queen Studio third scale Black Suit Superman angry sculpt.
Yeah, I think
Dude,
I
that's
honestly
like a
think
movie
that's
still without the seam.
See,
like,
man, this is
if
what
you
I'm-
couldn't see the seam, yeah, that's what I need right there.
you know, everybody's doing vapor now, right? You know, Jazz Inc.'s got like the vapor coming out of their vehicles and
Everybody's
stuff.
vaping. Baby.
Hot Toys make a mini vapor chamber.
Yeah.
Shrink
Oh
it
my
down, condense it.
Shrink it now.
Hey, by the way, so the eyes, that's another thing Hot Toys can improve on. If you're going to make them light up, like, you know, make it so that just the eyes are lighting up. You're not lighting up the forehead.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah,
the
because they
third-party
had a
one's
lot of
tough,
light
too.
bleed.
Yeah.
Yeah, the light
Yeah.
bleed is pretty bad. That's such a see, man. That is like the coolest accessory for me still. I absolutely love that. It's literally a swap out hand
It's
with the
attached
cowl.
to hand, like yeah.
Oh, it's so
So-
cool, man.
that's why I want a maskless Nightmare.
I know.
Batman.
So are those like little picture, like the pictures of his wife, of his mom,
Martha
and everything?
Yeah, it's
See, I was
pictures
gonna
So
of
nasty,
please
dude.
do that.
Save
I
Martha.
completely forgot that InArt did that, so that's another thing they already got him beat on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And well, you
It's
know,
like
InArt loves to do the printed materials. They've done that a lot. Like, you know, with the Batman, they did all the different
The Joker,
Riddler
like,
notes and
or-
stuff. Which Hot Toys
that's
did
what I
those as
meant,
well,
not
but
Joker.
they did the Riddler notes, you know, for Pennywise. They did like the Welcome to Derry poster and all that stuff.
Yeah. The Gandalf book is ridiculous.
Yeah,
I
I've
just
heard.
hope
I've
that
heard.
Kryptonite lights up as good as this one. Hot Toys.
Yeah, the that
Pretty
actually
good.
looks really good. I didn't realize it was actually that bright until you just did that. That looks pretty awesome. I'm not gonna lie. That's actually really nicely done. Does that take button cells? I'm guessing.
Yeah.
So it only
Yeah.
lasts 10 seconds. So if he leaves it on for another
Dude,
5
I
seconds, it's
I
gonna
light
turn
it all the time for people, and it's still just as bright.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I agree with Jedi here. Like, those pictures are
Yeah, man.
super creepy.
Especially, like I said, my favorite one, like Hot Toys, please. If InArt didn't do it, if you're going to do another Superman, do something with this right here, please. It doesn't have to be entirely screen accurate. If we just have green smoke with some, you know, with some LEDs behind it, that's going to look so good. Because I was really hopeful. I kept telling Chris before the actual full figure was revealed, I was like, I hope they have the kryptonite bomb shooting in his face, and then it has the
Yeah, we
LED
both
behind it. Fortunately, no.
You wanted the sync though more than anything.
Yeah, the sync. I mean,
Pisses me off.
gotta. Jedi Knights Watch says, "Can you imagine Hot Toys releases 2.0 Superman and reuse it?" I cannot imagine that, but I also can at the same time.
I could believe
wow.
it. If it
Dude,
happened.
if they
Yeah.
use that
I won't be
sculpt
shocked.
again, with the
It just
hair
gives
on the
me-
wrong side, you know, I'm not buying it. I promise you, if they reuse that sculpt, even just that sculpt and then give us another one, I'll be so angry, dude. Just at the very least, fix the hair. Fix the hair. It's so simple to fix the hair, you know.
Because I look at the way the hair goes on Hot Toy, and I look at it right there, and it's going the same way. So I don't know if there's like some blueprint that they're getting, and maybe it's flipped on camera. You know what I'm saying?
I don't know, dude.
Because his hair's going the way the Hot Toys one does.
I don't know. X-Man says, but the Martha photos are just, that shit is creepy. Yeah, they are creepy. They definitely are creepy. Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't display my figure with it because, you know, there's so many other options to display them, but it's cool that it's included. It's going to go in a little baggie. I'm going to zip it up. I'm going to toss it in my parts bin and never look at it again, okay? So I don't care about those little photos. No, they're cool, though. They are cool.
I'd have them scattered on the ground or something.
I wouldn't. But it would be cool, though. You know, it's a cool accessory. It's just, I don't know. There's just so many
I
other
love
ways
my
you can dispose of it.
accessories, man.
I do
Yeah.
too. No, don't get me wrong. Sometimes I just random shit just stuck in my display because I think it looks cool.
That's
like,
what
"Oh,
I'm
that looks
saying.
cool."
I'm just trying to find a place for everything.
Jedi Knights Watch is quoting Dean Knight here. Never trust Hot Toys to do the right thing. Yeah, you know, I love Hot Toys to death, but sometimes they just. Zombie says, joined late but saw we're on Soups. Definitely think a new Cavill is worth it for Hot Toys. Their sculpts previously on IMO are not amazing. Nowadays, I think they could do really great. Yeah, and it's like. Even like the laser eye sculpts, which I thought looked pretty decent. You know, InArt is definitely, I think, one-upped them with their laser eye sculpt. I think it looks much better. I think it looks more aggressive. And
It's teeth that Hot Toys does.
exactly. That's what makes or breaks those kind of like angry sculpts is how the teeth look, how the cheeks look when they're, you know, kind of gritting their teeth together. And it is difficult to sculpt that. It's a very difficult emotion to nail without people being like, oh, that looks like crap. But InArt nailed it. Sorry, Lane. Sorry to cut you off because I was just.
Did you say laser eyes?
You know,
Heat vision.
you know what I meant,
Yeah,
Lane.
yeah,
I'm
yeah,
sorry,
yeah.
Lane.
No, I gotta make sure we're
I'm
saying
so high
laser
on.
eyes are
I'm so.
different than heat vision.
I
Different
thank you,
things.
Lane. I know. I'm so high on the boys right now. I'm used
I
to
know that
Homelander.
it sounds like it.
Freaking
Yeah.
laser beams.
He's the
Don't
cooler
make me
Superman.
laser you.
It came out of his eyes, bro.
Laser.
It's like the joy and happiness that he feels inside just coming all around me.
Alrighty then.
Okay.
On that note,
Oh,
we're moving
that way.
on.
I hope they give him X-ray
Always
vision. That would be good.
That would be cool.
X-ray.
Except not when he looks at you, because then he'll see you naked, right?
Let's see your bones.
Guys,
I'm okay with that. I've accepted my body.
hey, we love
I'm
confidence.
doing
but
it right now with you.
I know.
Who would have thought that my favorite piece of information, figure announcement from this week would have been from
Oh.
Sideshow? Guys,
I
say it with me
remember
3 times.
Real dude.
Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice, Beetlejuice.
Beetlejuice.
And here
I
he is.
just-
He's going to pop up on our screen momentarily. but-
I just remember when I showed you that first, and you're like 1/6 scale. And it took
yeah,
me a
because
while before
I
knew
am
it
not
was-
falling for that.
Just
I've
click
been
on the
fooled by
chat
that so
and-
many times. So,
I thought we were going to talk about Amy because she's 5'9".
what does that have to do with
Yeah.
anything, Sean?
Did
All
she
right, here we
say
go.
that today?
Dude.
Here we go, baby. Okay.
How do I look?
Yeah. How do I look? I've said that, bro. I've said this so many times. So many times I'm like, when are they going to redo the Beetlejuice figure? It's old. It's selling for like $800 on eBay with the tombstone that lights up and everything that with Beetlejuice pointing, you know, all that stuff. I've been saying it for so long. When are they going to redo that Beetlejuice? I would have been fine. Excuse me. Even though I wasn't very happy with how the sculpt look, it didn't really look like Michael Keaton to me originally. Also, the hair obviously looked a little bit goofy. I feel like his hair is just so kind of all over the place. The sculpted hair just wasn't quite right. Shockingly, they have redone the head sculpt and they've done rooted hair. And for Sideshow to take a chance with rooted hair, I was actually blown away. I was shocked. When I saw the rooted hair, I was like, there's no way this is Sideshow.
And for an old property.
It doesn't-
Even though
And
they
for
do-
no, this is, you know, now I think the timing is right because this is the
Yeah.
30th
Do
anniversary
you think
of
this
the
will come
first
out by
film.
it'll probably come out. They're going to try and time it when Beetlejuice 2 comes out later.
Probably. I will say
Or
this,
within
guys.
the time frame.
I will say this, guys. I will say this. The one thing I want to clear up right now, I saw a lot of people commenting on this saying, this is very exciting, but it's Sideshow. Let me tell you one thing. If there's one thing I could say to you guys is the recent figures from Sideshow have been fantastic. The Clint Eastwood line, I can't stress enough. It's fantastic. It really is. Like, you got to separate Sideshow Star Wars from Sideshow everything else because the Star Wars stuff has been very mediocre. The General Grievous is a pile of shit. We know that, right? You know, that always
Clone
comes up.
Wars.
Oh, well, I bought the General Grievous. You know, whatever. The Clone Wars line so far has been garbage other than the Yoda. You know, they've
Yeah.
messed up a lot of stuff there. But you got to give credit where it's due. The Eric Draven is fantastic. All of the Clint Eastwood figures, I have all of them that have currently released. They're all fantastic. They're all very good. The paint apps have improved. The tailoring is fantastic. So when everybody is saying like, oh, you know, Sideshow quality is hit or miss, you know, when it comes to the Star Wars line, sure, but I really want to put a little respect on Sideshow's name because lately they've been doing a much better job with their 6-scale lines. Not only that, I know you guys saw that David from
Yeah,
the
that's
Lost
what I was gonna
Boys.
say.
That figure looks amazing.
Looks great.
And they hired the same sculptor that sculpts for Hot Toys. So, you know, they're doing the right things. They're trying to improve. So this is not the same Sideshow that has been putting out mediocre Star Wars releases. They're definitely, you know, they've definitely
putting
got
out
different
limited
sides to
numbers.
their...
Talking about JC
Limited
Hall.
number.
Yeah. And that is true. Even though he's very old, X-Man, I think Clint Eastwood would put a foot up their ass. But yeah, so this is huge, guys. This is huge for not only like people that are fans of horror, but just like pop culture film fans in general. This is just such a classic, iconic character. I have the video slowed down, by the way, guys, because I really want to kind of get as much of a look as possible because this is a very short clip here. But again, you know, if Sideshow ever watches this, please just continue to do this. This is what you need to do. Too bad the figure doesn't have like a button that you could switch and it flips around like that.
I love that.
That'd
they
be
did
I thought that was great. That's such a great shot. I don't know how they achieved that, but it looks awesome.
and it ended
Probably
like that.
shot, shoot, turn, shot, turn.
Yeah, and X-Men, I know. Yeah, the X-Men line, that was definitely a fail. You know, a lot of people, especially the Wolverine, a lot of people hated that Wolverine. And, you know, the Gambit, everybody liked the Gambit, and then So-So announced theirs and released theirs, and everybody's like, wow, the So-So one's way better. So, yeah, trust me, I get it. But, you know, my point is like, they've done really nice stuff. Again, Eric Draven, I know a lot of people love the dude
That's a
figure.
dope base.
Yeah,
It is.
If that's what it comes with, that's pretty cool.
Yeah, I didn't know. I was
Yeah.
going to ask you, is that what the base looks like?
So, Chris, we're kind of talking about this. You know, one thing that has me really puzzled, right? There's one thing that has me really puzzled about this video, and it's you keep seeing. Sorry, I'm trying to seek here just to get back to that one moment. You keep seeing his feet attached to this tiny little base here,
Right.
and I'm like, is that like a little? It just like his feet peg into it, or is it like a little magnetic piece? Because even when they lifted him up, it was under his feet. Now I highly doubt that's like fixed to the feet. There'd be no reason for them to do that, right?
That would make him a power pose almost.
Right. But that, you know, that's
But they moved
interesting
his
too.
hand, so it can't just be
Right, no,
power.
it's definitely opposable. They say in the video it's a full. This is definitely not fixed to the base. It's just weird that like it's stuck to his feet. I don't know
Maybe
if that's
it's
just for
magnet?
like demonstrate.
It
Yeah, that's what I
looks
was saying.
really
Maybe
good,
it's
though.
magnetic.
Maybe like it's an old G.I. Joe figure kind of stand where it has that peg and
Pegged in.
goes up the boot.
That would be really look. See what I mean? See what I mean? They go to
Yeah.
place it down and it's stuck to the feet. How weird is that?
Maybe
I
it
don't-
does have pegs.
That'd be so bizarre.
Yeah. It's
But see, that's a different base than the grass that's underneath. If you looked, There's,
Yeah,
a circle
and they had
to
him
it.
spinning on that, which is
So,
very
do you think it's a
bizarre.
magnet sandwich? Because if you look at that black platform, that
An
looks
idiot
like just
sandwich.
one giant magnet.
Yeah, I don't.
He said
Yeah.
sandwich.
Look, watch,
So-
watch. You'll see. You can see something black underneath there.
Why has it got to be black?
Well, that's what it is, Sean.
Lane, that was not that funny, dude.
Yes, it was. Lane,
Yeah,
like,
I
yeah,
know,
yeah,
Look,
yeah.
these
Hot Toys Nightmare is always
the
hilarious.
grass that he was just.
This is true. Lane's correct.
X-Man wants Beetlejuice. Woo! Team Beetlejuice, baby.
I think what you're saying, Connor, is we need to get out of the mindset with Sideshow. They are still going to probably, just like we were just talking about with Valkyrie a little bit earlier, that there can be kind of a, not a bomb.
You're
sometimes.
right. You're gonna get turds every once in a while.
Yeah,
That's just gonna
so-
happen. But
Just don't think Sideshow equals trash. Like go in with that mindset.
see you later,
right off the
Steve.
bat.
Sorry to cut you off. I gotta say bye to Evil Sneaker. See you later,
See ya,
Steve. Take
Steve.
care, bro. Thanks for hanging out with us, man.
Make your choices.
Yeah.
All right, go ahead, Lane. Sorry, I had to say goodbye.
Well, I was gonna say you're trying to say, like, guys, to the audience and stuff, is we have probably for good reason at points too, that like Grievous is a good example of that within the last couple of years. We just go Sideshow. Once we hear Sideshow, 1/6 scale figure equals
Yeah, it makes you
trash.
curdle
That's
up inside if
well,
you've
yeah,
only
it
bought the
equals trash.
Grievous.
That's-
Of course.
Yeah, or some other thing, and that's just the addition problem that you have in your head. Figure, you hear Sideshow plus figure, 1/6 scale equal garbage.
Yeah.
We need to not have. There's still going to probably be bombs that come out,
Of course, yeah. Like
Um,
any company, there's gonna be bombs for sure.
but we need to at least give an opportunity where, if that's still, if that didn't have the rooted hair and the head sculpt looked a lot like the old one, you might go, well, this looks like it's like Grievous was mostly a reissue from 7 years ago, and they haven't done any improvement.
Yeah,
So
that
why
was
are
a
they putting this
huge.
out?
That was a huge, big, like total.
But there's
fail.
That was a
nothing.
big fail.
There's nothing different about it. So, like you said with the Clint, when I looked at the Clint Eastwood line, I went kind of like, man, this would be really cool, but it's Sideshow. Like, what are we gonna? I was like, eh. But this is we do need to, if we can, if you're a fan of it, we want to try and support some of this figure. I'm not saying you should go out and just because they're putting it out, you go spend $280 or $90 on this.
Yeah.
But if we want to get sometimes even different properties like this, which aren't always like, as we've talked about, we seem to drown in once a scale and
Real quick,
yeah. There's
just
that.
real
That's,
quick. Let me show
that
you
the,
guys something.
that's the preacher.
Look at this figure, man. This is
Hey,
Sideshow
Lane,
right here.
so-
Like,
yeah, that's great.
there's a bit of a caricature to the sculpt, of course. And sorry,
Little.
with this lighting, it's not focusing. But look at like the dirt on the duster, on
Yeah.
the undercoat there. He's got real metal spurs. There's
He looks
weathering
just
on the
like he
shoes.
does during the final showdown.
And
I
to
think
be
they
fair, I
honestly
think they
feel
said they were going with a bit of a caricature.
They did,
to the
yes, that
sculpt,
was
so,
stated. Look at the belt. Like these are great figures, guys. Like these are like
It's like
Yeah. That's really good.
it's a what's it called? They also a lot of companies do a lot better with alien type or face painted, like because I think that looks spot on to Keaton.
right,
Like,
right.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
And it's crazy. You and I just talked about it. I know you were about to buy that old one when we were talking, and it was
And I literally
incomplete.
said, what did I say, Chris? I was like, either Hot Toys needs to do a new Beetlejuice from the Beetlejuice
Yep.
2, or I want to see Sideshow do a new version. And
Yep.
look at the timing, because that was
I
just
want-
that was like a month and a half ago. I almost bought
Yeah.
that cheap one that I found on Facebook.
And,
I
Really
want
quick,
some packaging, like anniversary packaging for
that would be cool.
Oh,
And,
yeah.
They didn't show any.
Yeah.
They did say something about the
It said
packaging
30th
being
anniversary there.
displayable. They said it's something about it being displayable. Really quick, Cigars makes a good point. He says Sideshow does well with horror figures. I know Beetlejuice isn't technically horror, but his look in the movie was very ghostly, right? So it kind of goes along with that theme. So I see them doing well with this figure, and I agree.
No,
You know,
sorry, Connor, go ahead.
no, you're good. I was just gonna say, like, I have the Jason Voorhees, I have the Michael Myers. There's a really good shot of him, kind of like in natural lighting there. I have the Jason Voorhees, I have the Michael Myers, I have the Ghostface, I have the Freddy Krueger, and I'm very happy with all of them. Are they perfect?
Yep.
No, but again, like having the Clint Eastwood figures, especially, I've just been impressed, more impressed, and more impressed. Everyone that I get, I see improvements, and I'm really excited to get that William Money. Because that one looks fantastic. The likeness on that sculpt looks so good. I'm really, really excited to see that one.
Yeah,
And,
to CMV's point though, you can really just have all these. I mean, like him, Eric Draven, David. Like again,
Absolutely.
the Crow isn't a horror movie, right? But like you said about Beetlejuice, they can all kind of exist in the same theme on your shelf, I think, and look really good together.
I totally agree. They would absolutely fit together, and and of course, like with all the '80s and '90s stuff, you can kind of have an amalgamation display with everything. Jedi Night's Watch says this movie is so iconic, and my kids love it, so I'll be getting it. Well, there you go. Not only do you want it, but it's something that you could share with your kids, so it makes a lot of sense, right? And this is one of those movies, right? It's really for everyone, and it's really exciting to see the second film coming out, because that just kind of introduces a whole nother generation to Beetlejuice. And I saw, let me see, Hayden collects.
Zombie said, yeah.
Yeah, Hayden collects says, I'm 21 and I still haven't seen Beetlejuice. I have to go get on that. You do. I'm telling you,
It's a good movie.
it's a timeless classic. It's goofy as hell. It's goofy as all hell. But like the practical effects, especially, you'll love the dinner scene. That's all I'll say. But the practical effects and everything are just so
It's
good.
what
And
made
Michael
Tim
Keaton
Burton.
is just
Like that's what
right.
really
It's
got
if
me
you've
right.
seen any Tim Burton films, you know what his universes are typically like and his style of shooting and everything. And it's Tim Burton in a nutshell. That's all I'll say. It's just
where
fantastic.
he had total creative control, and it was like his own creation.
Another cool thing about this figure is you can surround him with like crappy 1/6 Dio, and it would look like you know how Beetlejuice is like living in that in that world, you know.
Yeah, that is true. That is true.
Like you don't have to get the most expensive, accurate stuff. You know what I mean? You can make it look like a playset.
Yeah, that's
back
true.
to Hayden's comment though too, where he's saying that he's 21 and hasn't even seen Beetlejuice yet. Dude, you don't need to worry about that because Chris is like over 30 years old.
I'm not over 30, but I was going to say I did do worse.
He just barely watched
I'm 28.
Back to the Future.
I turned 27, so I was 27 last year, and I hadn't watched Back to the Future. So
how would you rate that? More egregious or less than a 21-year-old who hasn't seen Beetlejuice?
More.
Mine was
I'd say
definitely
that's
more. Mine
egregious.
was worse for sure.
Okay,
Because
because
I
there's
love
more films
Beetlejuice.
too, and I didn't.
Right, I
watch a
love
single
Beetlejuice,
one.
but we're talking Back to the Future versus Beetlejuice. Back to the Future is easily
Yeah, way
more
more
iconic. Although I will say Beetlejuice is very recognizable, very, very recognizable. Like you go to Spirit Halloween the past couple of years, they've done a whole Beetlejuice collection, and that stuff sells like pretty well for them. Real quick, I want to say what's up to How You Figure. It's great to see your face in here. I hope you're doing well. He says, "What's up, everyone? 100% getting this figure. Cannot wait." Yeah, it's dude. I was
Hey
like a
guys,
kid
I'm
on Christmas.
44 years old, so I can joke about being over 30.
Same here. I'm 44 as well.
Guys,
yeah,
look,
I know. We're both the same
we
age.
are varying ages on this stream.
You're
It's a
all
stream
doing
for
great to
everyone.
make me feel really old right now.
Lane is the oldest, so guys, Lane might be older than you.
Lane is
so.
31. Okay,
Lane is not 31, but
I
hey,
am
we
not
don't
31.
discriminate. We got varying age groups in here, and that's what I love about the stream. And see, guys, you know what I'm talking about? Christian Lopez here. By the way, Christian, incredible profile picture. You have all my favorites there. Especially, I'm a huge Hellraiser fan. I love Pinhead, so I'm definitely going to be grabbing that third-party one, even though it's a little inaccurate, and it looks like a recast of the 3.0 one, which I used to have. Christian says, Beetlejuice, my most anticipated figure since 2019. Dude, I think some people outside of this film who haven't seen it really don't understand the gravity of this announcement. I'm surprised that it took so long for Sideshow to jump on this. I really am. But am I happy that it's here? Yes. Do I think the sculpt looks much more like Michael Keaton? Absolutely. And don't you worry, because some of you probably like, what did the original one look like? I'm going to pull it up because you guys are going to, I want you to, you kind of look at something, you look at a light too long and then the light gets turned off and you can still see the light. I want you to do that with this figure. Look at this figure, remember what it looks like, and I'm going to jump over to the original one, the photos on Sideshow, and you'll be like, wow, that's a huge improvement. And, I was talking to Cigars about this the other day when it got teased, and we were talking about the hair, and obviously the hair is going to need a little bit of a work kind of when you get it in hand. I'm sure it's going to be kind of matted down a little bit in the box because the way it sticks up. But for all intents and purposes, I think it works. I really do. But yeah, let me pull up really quickly. And also, guys, we got 53 people watching. First of all, thank you so much, everybody, for being here. I very much appreciate it. Great to see some new faces here on the Tuesday night stream. If you haven't already, please consider dropping a like on the stream and subscribe. I would very much appreciate it. But guys, so again, ingrain in your mind what you're seeing here. Have this ingrained in your mind. This is the 2.0. I'm calling it a 2.0. This is the 2.0 Beetlejuice here. But now let's see what the original Sideshow Beetlejuice looked like.
Boy, this
and guys,
hilarious.
People were paying, and maybe still are, because eBay's a little behind sometimes. For the deluxe set with the tombstone and everything, they're paying $800. This is what they were paying $800 for.
Wow.
Hey,
Wow.
Wow.
That looks like.
I can
Oh my
vouch
God.
for that. Barely looks like him, but it's
That
Looks
there.
like me, dude.
that looks like a drunken cosplayer version.
Look, that was his face looking at the new version of himself.
Really quick, guys, I'm going to cut you all off. Sean has to go. Sean, I'm glad that you were able to make it most of the stream. We very much appreciate it. So Sean, the Hot Toys Nightmare, is on his way out. But guys, link in the description if you want to check out some of Sean's videos on his channel. Definitely head on over and check him out. Thank you, Sean, so much for hanging out with us tonight.
All right, thank you guys.
Hey,
I hope
Sean.
you all have a good night. If I hurt anyone's feelings,
Night.
I'm sorry.
How dare
Chris
you.
is over 30, however. Don't believe that 28 thing. And Lane is only 31. Okay. So Mike and I are both older than
He's
Lane.
lying to you.
Oh my God,
You're
I'm gonna agree.
right.
The non-hair on top of my head would care to disagree with you.
Look,
On that note, see
yeah,
you later,
I mean, I don't know
Sean.
why, it's okay for men to look older and everything, but I don't think you should just assume.
It's distinguished. He doesn't look older. He looks distinguished.
The
Yes.
salt and
Yes.
peppers.
Now we just need a beard on that distinguishedness.
Yeah, can we get a beard lane?
Yeah.
Bro, we've been trying
Best
for
of
like,
luck.
2 years now?
Best
1,
of
2?
luck. Best of luck.
Yeah, we need the swoop bikes and the beard.
Just looking at that house up to killing all the facial hair I
But-
could possibly produce over the next 2 years.
But what a difference, right? This almost looks like a Beetlejuice cosplayer.
Do you know when
Hi,
that
guys.
came out? Do you know
Take
when
care,
that
Sean.
actually
I'm
came
not
Choice is
over
sweet.
30.
Hey, Beskar, we don't discriminate, my friend. All
put that
ages are
age
welcome
on.
here. We're all varying ages. I think Chris is the youngest. I'm 28. I'll be 29 this year. So I
Yeah,
think
before I
we're all
will.
over
I'll
the
be
place.
29 this year, but you before me.
Yeah, so we're all
Well, you
kinda all
guys'
over the
lives
place.
are almost starting to come to the end. You're getting close to 30.
Don't
It's
say
all
that, man.
downhill.
I'm not turning 30, dude. I'm just not. I'm just gonna
Yeah, we
stop
just-
at 29.
Him and I are just
You're a
stopped.
tail
We've
extension.
already
You're going
got
to
the
just stop
contract.
aging it once you hit a button.
That's my plan. I just got to say Beetlejuice 3 times, right? How You Figure says this movie is timeless and so is the character. Absolutely, totally agree. I couldn't tell by the video. Is it just some green grass at the base? Wish they included a great graveyard base or something. So funny you asked that because we were actually sitting there analyzing that. Chris had brought up a good point. So the weird thing is they first had him on this little black disc, and when they lifted him up in the promotional video and sat him down, the disc was still attached to his feet. So does it mean that, like, you know, that grass plate or that black plate attached to another base? Probably. I mean, what other reason would it be that
That's
big?
what
You
it
know,
look like.
right? That's got to be what it is, right? Too many young bucks. That's all right, man. We balance it out, right? We've got Lane, who's almost 50, and me, who's almost 30. So
We
it
need-
kind of,
We need the older to guide us in wisdom.
right. Lane is the wise man.
Yeah,
Lane
they
the
learn
wise.
from-
Is what
they-
we call
Exactly.
him.
That's why I said he's the
They
wise
learn.
man.
They asked, so what did you do in this situation? And I said, well, I went this way, and this is my reason. They go, that sounds good. And then tabulate. Okay, we're going to do the opposite of this thing because now we know. Instead of we avoided the door that said, choose the door. There's the one with the thumbtacks that are going to poke our feet. The other one is going to be just a straight walkway to escape it. Now, I'm wondering, when did this one come out? Do you guys know?
It's
Original.
Beetlejuice.
It's a
If
really.
you look at the additional details, it'll tell you, Connor. If you
look
go
at
on
that
the
box.
page.
That box is so cool. Additional details. Let's see.
It says it's somewhere in there. Might be in details.
You're a total liar. Let's see.
I'm just curious for how,
'Cause that's where I found it on the list.
Somebody in the chat. Someone's got to know, right? Someone's got to know off the top of their head.
Because before we start completely crushing this figure, if
We're
this was
Lane,
like
we
8
still
or
got to
9
crush
years
it to
ago-
promote the new one, right?
I know, I understand it, but we got to keep in mind if it's like 8 years old or 9 years old or something. That, I mean, of course we would expect it to be better. Because
Thank you. See, Lane, the average is a great balance. Yeah, that box is sweet. So they did say something about when they were Amy and Guy were talking, they said something about the box playing into the display. So I wonder if they did like a diorama image on the background. I don't know.
So do you think that this one? So do you probably think in the next couple by the end of the month that Beetlejuice will be up for pre-order?
Probably. And Sideshow's been moving pretty quickly in terms of release times. Like the Clint Eastwood stuff has been around 6 months, I think, recently.
Yeah,
Most of the stuff's been around 6 months.
They've been really quick
pretty
with that. Their statues, everything. They, if you comparison to other manufacturers.
So Hot Toys. When you collect the Hot Toys stuff,
you're like a year.
Or if they surprise me, here and there. But
record deciding to just say, "Hey, we need $325 now," and you're like, "Wait a minute, I just saw you a few months." Well, actually, that would actually be 2 of the Bad Batch, wouldn't it be? Because Crosshair came out earlier.
Crosshair was early as well. Also, guys, I want to jump back to this. I'm very curious to see if they go back in and give us that same, like, Here Lies Beetlejuice base. I didn't mention, they mentioned a few things that he includes. He's got the book of the recently deceased. He's got the nail file. What else, Chris? There was one other thing that they mentioned.
Does he have a shrunken head?
His wristwatches.
That would be sweet.
Oh, the bunch of watches. Yeah, they didn't mention the shrunken head. I'm sure they're leaving some stuff to be a surprise.
If he came with a deluxe with the diorama that had like just kind of the back part and the snake, Beetlejuice.
Yeah.
Or
X-Men, absolutely. 12 years ago, that probably was like a really solid release. Obviously, we're just poking fun at what it looks like today, but absolutely, I think at some point.
I didn't know they sold sold the base separately. So
For the
old one.
I think there was a pack, and then you could buy the base by itself. Because I've seen the base for sale, and people pay like $400 for that. I tell you what, if they don't announce that, if they don't release that base with this new one, people are still going to buy that old base. It's probably going to go up. Yeah. It's probably going to go up even more. Sean Reeves, what's up, Sean? By the way, kind of looks like Nate a little bit. I'm not crazy. Kind of looks like Nate a little bit.
Yeah, with that on.
Sean, that's like Nate's signature. That in the glasses. Sean says, "Been looking forward to this. When you think it'll be released next year?" Yeah. I don't know if I pulled this comment up already. I can't remember. It's like I said. They're pretty quick with their releases lately. If I had to guess, the pre-order is probably going to go up very soon. I've been waiting for the Tim Curry Pennywise that they teased a few months back, and they haven't put that up for pre-order yet, so I'm guessing it's all like licensing and timing. Obviously, this one also, they probably want to time it, like someone mentioned earlier about timing it with Beetlejuice 2. Most likely, yes, and I do think Hot Toys probably has an interest in Beetlejuice 2 as well. They've been going really hard lately with Michael Keaton, so at least they know that the Michael Keaton stuff sells, so they'll probably show an interest in Beetlejuice 2 as well, which will be cool to see.
It said 2016, by the way. Sorry to cut you off.
2016. So that's a pretty old figure. That's an old figure for sure. So, The dude is, yeah, and I've seen a lot of people say they really love the dude. So yeah, again, Sideshow does some pretty solid stuff. Stevie Weeby, I'm less worried about the paint apps on this one just because it's not like a flesh tone, you know what I mean? I'm less worried about this. I'd be more worried about the hands because those have more like human skin showing. But I guess we'll wait to see. Yeah, Pablo, when they announced that new statue, I was so upset that it wasn't like another 6-scale version. I was really upset about that, but you know, I guess we'll wait and see what else comes out with that line. They also, what was the other statue that they put out that everybody thought was going to be 6-scale and it wasn't? I can't remember. It was something recently. Let's see. Yeah, dude.
They call everything a figure.
Yeah, that's the other thing.
Like
It's
call
one
statues figures. It's so
premium format figure. It throws you off, dude. It throws you off for sure. Jedi Knights Watch says asking price on this old figure was $1,200. Very rare. Yeah, dude. Wow. So I found one loose and it had none of the accessories and it was like $150. But I'm like thinking to myself, like, am I really gonna get this with nothing extra? You know, not the base and everything, no box or nothing. I don't care about loose typically, but I'm like, dude, I think someone's gonna do a new one soon. Like I was really hoping for that, and my prayers were answered. So. Yeah, X-Man, they said something about, I think Guy said something to the effect of like, you know, in the box plays into the display or something like that. I mean, I could have taken it too literally. Maybe he's just saying the art box looks cool. I don't know, but
could be like that Patrick Bateman.
Could be a graveyard.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was thinking, like a graveyard back, like Patrick Bateman, like you said, how they utilized the box. Like Iconic did that for the Ryu as well.
Just printing.
I mean, the box could be him coming out of the ground.
That's what I expected. Yeah, something like that. Where's the Tim Curry Pennywise Sideshow? Thank you for doing the Beetlejuice. You checked a big one off my list, but I want that Tim Curry Pennywise, so I hope that's not tossed. Usually, Cigars mentioned this the other day when I was talking to him too, and he makes a good point. Sideshow doesn't typically show a lot of stuff that they're not going to do, which is a good thing. You know, Hot Toys, we have that graveyard thing that we all love to talk about, but I really hope that Pennywise comes up soon. I can't wait. Yeah, maybe he is hanging out in the sewer somewhere.
Oh, one other thing, dude. You know how they're hit or miss? We've all been kind of crapping on them with Star Wars. They're Cad Bane.
That's the only one I've pre-ordered, dude. That's the only one, because that's the only one I'm like, okay, like Chris said, that's an alien figure. I'm like, and the Yoda didn't look bad. Honestly, the Yoda's the best looking one from the line. So
I've heard nothing.
Sorry if you mentioned Cad Bane already tonight. I didn't.
No, we actually didn't.
He didn't.
We actually didn't. I want to say, take care, Jedi Knights Watch. Thanks for hanging out with us, bro. Guys, check out Jedi Knights Watch tomorrow. I know I don't know the time.
Wednesday.
I don't know if you want to drop the time for Wolfpack Wednesdays at 9 p.m. Eastern. Am I right with that? I could be wrong. I don't know. If you're still here, if someone must know. Go check out the stream. 9:30 Eastern. Yep. Okay, guys, go check them out for sure. Great stream, great group of guys. You'll see Steve over there. You'll see Mike over there sometimes. When am I going to be over there? And when are you going to be over here? When are you going to be over here, dude? That's the big question. I got another guest. I just talked to another guest, a familiar face for some of you guys. So we're going to be having another guest on soon. Thanks to Mike. Mike, you know who it is. 9:30 Eastern. There we go. Hopefully I'm not pronouncing. I love the profile picture. I hope I'm not pronouncing this wrong. Z Mulaney. Tell me if I'm wrong, please. I don't like pronouncing people's names. I feel bad. Mulaney. Z Mulaney. That sounds better. Enjoy the discussion, subbed. Well, thank you so much. I very much appreciate that. I'm on the list, guys. There we go. I'm on the list. Let's go. I made the list, boy.
You made the list.
I made the list.
Like old WWE.
Yeah, I have seen that.
You just made the list.
On the list, bro.
I made the list. Thank you so much. But take care, my friend. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. But guys, yeah, this is a really big announcement and Sideshow. If you're ever listening to this stream or if someone tells you, hey, check out Hot Toys Hotline, they were talking about that Beetlejuice figure. Thank you so much for doing this. Please continue to do stuff like this, the different stuff outside the box. And
we drown in
Pennywise.
We drown in MCU stuff. We drown in DC.
Yeah, we've got enough of that stuff. Hot Toys has got us on that. This is what we want.
Bro, I want these old classic film stuff.
Yeah, we got 50 Batman. We got 50 Bale Batmans coming out at us all the time. So, or Heath Ledger Jokers, but giving us a thing like Beetlejuice or something from Michael Keaton. That's hey, we get another Michael Keaton figure, a kind of character that's not him in an '89 Batman suit. That's
right.
Cool.
Right, it's something different. We never got our Vulture. You know, that never happened. So
yeah,
this is a consolation prize, right?
Is this? You're probably for Michael Keaton. Do you prefer his Bruce Wayne, or would you say for him as a role you've seen him play? Is Beetlejuice your favorite Michael Keaton?
No, Batman is for sure my favorite Michael Keaton, but Beetlejuice is definitely, I would say, my second for me for Michael Keaton roles, Beetlejuice. But yeah, Michael Keaton's my favorite Batman, so of course, I'm going to put him first for sure as Batman. But
I actually might say I like him as Beetlejuice for a role for him as his most iconic character. I actually think I might go Beetlejuice just because.
That's fair. I mean,
for me, Bale Batman is the best Batman. So it's the only thing. But this is also an original character he played. It's not one that's had.
And it doesn't. It almost it doesn't seem like a Michael Keaton role, right? Like when you. Look
I was
at his
just
other
gonna
roles,
say that. Thank God for Tim Burton.
Dude. Right. It's hard to believe that it's Michael Keaton.
And
he had some vision for Michael Keaton, dude. Because that Bruce Wayne. I mean, your regular casting agent is not going to think Michael Keaton for either.
Right, like who are we going to
roles.
pick for this crazy character, like this unique character? Who are we going to pick? Michael Keaton? Let's call him up.
And it's crazy because I don't picture anybody else.
No,
right? It's hard to, right? Really quick, how you figure? Speaking of Sideshow, anyone else getting that Lost Boys David figure? Dude, that was a day one pre-order for me.
Yeah, dude.
Another figure I'm hyped for. When that figure got announced, that's when I knew Sideshow was no longer playing around because again, they hired. I think his name is Yixi. He sculpts for Hot Toys. He did the sculpts for David. So they're hiring good talent to do these sculpts now. Yeah. Like I said, they're not playing around anymore, man. And then they got the base with him hanging with the little gross bat feet and everything.
They didn't have to do that.
Feet. Right, they didn't have to. It's just like a nice extra.
It's not the sculpt necessarily; it's the bodies. That's what what always the concern. I get more the bodies for that. But
that wasn't the only issue, I think, though, for a lot of people.
Even I could vouch for like the horror because you have the Freddy. My brother's got the Jason, and they hold up pretty good. Like they're solid in posing.
And like the Michael Myers, the body's very nice. The coveralls look nice. Yeah. Like they're nice figures.
I've heard people say that's better than the Tots.
So what people do is they get the Sideshow body.
They both have their
sculpt on
their pros and cons. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
The body's a little bit better. Look, I'll say this: Tots. I love the stuff they release. But the bodies are atrocious.
Yeah.
The worst.
I agree with that.
Worse than any third-party bodies I've ever owned, and they're officially licensed. They're horrible. Yeah. Like my Art the Clown.
Their tailoring's good.
You move him a little bit, and he's like, he just it's the bodies are horrible. Yeah, and I've had multiple Tots figures like come in and out of my collection.
Pretty good from the 2018 one.
Yeah, I would say. In the kind of the dead zone we're in from Hot Toys and stuff right now with Chinese New Year. This is like the purpose announcement to make us go from.
Couldn't have been better timing, Lane. Couldn't have been better timing.
Yay, man, look at something new and interesting.
Couldn't have been better timing. They knew it was quiet. They knew that Beetlejuice 2 was on the horizon. It would have, but why not announce it during Chinese New Year when they know Hot Toys is taking a break, 3-0, all these companies are taking breaks and they're going to be quiet. Perfect timing. Perfect time. Oh, I'm sorry. Thank you, Jordan, for correcting me. Yixi is female. Well, Yixi is an absolute boss at sculpting. She does fantastic work, and some of the best Hot Toy sculpts period in recent history from Hot Toys has been by Yixi. So she's fantastic. She does really good work.
Some of the female sculptors out in Hong Kong and that region of the world are like J&D. Some of their best sculpts are done.
And
I guess maybe a lot of females have like a better eye for subtle features and stuff like
Painters too. I follow a few on Instagram.
It's just unfortunate they don't put this much love into their Star Wars.
I know it's when you're a Star Wars fan first and foremost, like a lot of us on this panel are, like it's very unfortunate. Like Mike said, that Cad Bane's going to be the savior of that line for me because
hopefully if the body.
I'm just glad Hot Toys does do what they do.
Yeah, I mean.
If Sideshow was all we'd have, I don't know. I can't even say that because I had the old Sideshow ones at one point.
That could be
I did too, but
that might also be what I don't want to say intimidates because it's not the right word, but what keeps Sideshow from trying to do much in the way or putting tons of effort in the Sideshow does in the Star Wars figures because the means going directly into what is probably one of the two big licenses for Hot Toys and trying to run into that, are people going to buy our whatever figure versus the now I don't know.
It's got to be a licensing agreement, though. I think.
Yeah, made by Disney. If they did, I don't know, a Slave Leia. If Disney let them, people will buy that one because we don't think we'll ever see it.
Yeah, we'll be.
And even then, people would sell it. Now is Hot Toys going to do it? That's the problem with Star Wars.
Yeah,
whatever the figure they make is, they might go, well, it's Hot Toys. They're going to do this.
Lane, I think they have enough respect for each other, and they have such a relationship as two different companies that they would definitely coordinate. And I think Sideshow would be like, "Hey, you care if we make this?" Because Hot Toys released their Cad Bane, and then Sideshow, they announced theirs finally.
And when C-3PO came out, finally, like returned the classic look.
Yeah, Sideshow's like, no one's buying this anymore. We don't care.
Yeah. So
not that it's more so like Hot Toys. Sideshow answers to Hot Toys, but
speaking of tots, I'm excited for their Dr. Loomis.
I am excited for it, but there's a lot of things I don't like about it. And I had Cigar's comment there. Cigar
I
saying,
still just want one.
I know exactly.
Oh, yeah, dude.
We're gonna settle for it because no one else has done a Dr. Loomis. But here's the other thing with tots stuff. I'm not pre-ordering tots anymore because every time a tots figure releases, it loses $50 in value the moment it hits a selling site.
Yes.
I've been, I bought, Cigars is talking about the Sam. That's a fantastic figure. Definitely, I would agree, one of their best figures because the body isn't total crap. And it comes with a lot of great accessories. That base is awesome.
Yeah, Kevin regrets skipping that one.
Yeah, I mean, but I paid $200 for that one because it sold out originally on Sideshow and then went back in pre-order phase. And I've seen them go up on Facebook for $145. So
yeah, even on Todd's website, like the 78 Myers was up for a while, and they actually discounted it.
Dude, the 78 Myers,
I got
the
2018 miles for under 150.
Right, so it's like I'm not pre-ordering that stuff anymore. I'm still going to support the company and get their stuff, but it has to be for the right price. And how you figure, totally agree, dude. I'm buying a lot of stuff from Sideshow lately because they're just doing stuff that I want. The Clint Eastwood line, I'm all in on that. I'm going to keep buying them until they stop making them. I don't know if William Money's going to be the last one. I would love to see a Gran Torino figure, but we'll see what they do with that. Rusty says Lost Boys was automatic. Yeah, dude. I mean, come on. The old, like, what was it? What is that crappy third-party company that does really bad third-party figures? And like, the David was actually one of their better figures.
I'd like to see a Michael from that, too. Be cool.
I know. Like, I was hoping that they would at least do, like, the two main characters, but...
Yeah.
Sideshow lately, at least, apart from the Clint Eastwood line, they've been hit or miss with doing one-offs. Like
kind of one and done.
The Big Lebowski, they only did the dude. They didn't do the duo,
And now they're putting out, if you just wanted to have, like, say, a detail shelf that was just Sideshow figures, now at least they've had some one-offs or original ones that are decent quality that could be, you get enough of them that could be your Sideshow, like, display with Beetlejuice, and you could have the Eric Draven Crow, and by the same manufacturer and sync them together.
Yeah, that's
the only one they put out I really kind of considered is that Cad Bane because I really like to either put him with the Bad Batch.
Oh, dude, he looks so good. Yeah.
Even though he doesn't have his hat is too big in comparison to how he looked.
Redman, thank you, Pablo. Redman.
Elaine, don't you think? Oh, Redman. Don't you think he could? I mean, we'll see. We'll have to wait and see how he scales. But like, I'm hoping to fit him in right with my animated, Star Wars.
Oh yeah, I love how that one is way more than the Book of Boba Fett one. Like the Book of Boba one was cool for what they could do translating.
Yeah,
not where it's not a Duras wearing a mask. Like way back in the original or something. But what they could do to translate him look fine. But when I see the big ass hat and everything like that.
That's Cad Bane.
Like that's Cad Bane. And that was my problem with Cad Bane when he showed up in the first, in the one appearance he's done in Clone, in Bad Batch. It's not that far since since Clone Wars, within like a year or something. His hat is smaller than it was in the original. And I'm like, he's got to have the big, silly, huge hat that doesn't actually make any sense unless you're walking on Tatooine for keeping the sun from getting you cut.
Yeah, that's true.
Wait,
what did CMB just say there?
He said he puts Jeff Goldblum as the flying
dude. I wanted to remind myself of that. That would be sick, dude.
Yeah.
I love that.
Brundlefly.
Brundlefly. Yeah.
Real quick, guys.
Nails falling off.
I want to dive into. So I pulled up the photo briefly. You guys saw that 2024 roadmap. Soso is actually doing an entire CW Flash line.
Does this feel like a really weird thing to do with the show being over and everything? Like just.
Based on Based on the responses, I would say no, because I think a lot of people are really hyped about these. More than I even expected. You know, I expected some people to be excited, but people were like really excited about these. So I would say no. I think the show was so well received for the most part. I think this is a pretty smart move for them. So you got the Reverse Flash here. I haven't seen all of this show, so the only one that kind of interests me just because it's the Reverse Flash is the Reverse Flash. I think the head sculpt's actually pretty nice too. I think it looks pretty similar to the actor. I think it's pretty close. I love that kind of mass pulled down look too. That's pretty awesome.
I like the costume. I really like the costume and how they.
Yeah, this is nice. And
I think the Flash, you know, because of the TV series where they didn't have the budget of some of the movies and everything, so they had to not make the costumes too wacky. You know, like
they very much look like TV costume design. They very much look like that. They look like
it makes it a little bit easier, maybe more practical for making them for the figures, which is why they may be able to go a little bit deeper. And you're going to be able, like you said, this isn't going to just be it's like Thawne and Barry Allen Flash, and well, that's it. See you later, because we had to. It was super difficult, or the costumes were super involved, like say the movie Flash.
Yeah,
really make. So you can have a lot of different ones.
And the funny thing is too, they also showed that that classic Flash, which we saw obviously a glimpse of in the Flash film. Yeah, so that would be cool because you could put it with your Flash figures. That'd be pretty neat. I'm not sold by the head sculpt on this one, but the rest of the suit looks really nice.
The other sculpt look a lot. Would you mind going back to that first one?
Yeah, hold on.
There's a lot of people fan of the CW stuff and like Green Arrow.
Yeah.
So I'm gonna shout out myself real quick. I was actually on a television show with Tom Cavanaugh, and I was on the whole season. Had a few scenes with him.
Really?
He's a super nice guy. He was also the producer of the film, and I'm glad that they did justice to his head sculpt at least here, because that.
Yeah, it looks just like him.
It looks just like him, dude. Yeah.
Yeah, like this is the one out of this group that I would probably pre-order. And Cigars makes a great point. We can finally get a proper Dark Flash because we have the creepy, weird-looking one from the Flash film with the exposed joints and everything. That Hot Toys is obviously they abandoned that. They probably realized, we probably shouldn't do this. But yeah, Hayden says, I pre-ordered these on day one, not Kid. Yeah, the Kid Flash doesn't interest me at all. I couldn't justify that figure. I just didn't connect with the character, but I had been waiting for a Reverse Flash for years. Yeah, this one's really cool. And again, like Lane said, I love that suit. I think this suit looks great. The head sculpt's really nice. I totally agree with that too. Let's see. Big Dog Pound says Grant Gustin is my Flash. Yeah, I mean, the only thing I don't like about this one, I'm not big on the sculpt. I think Hot Toys did a much better job on the Grant Gustin likeness. With that being said, I do love how the suit looks. Do I prefer this suit over like the Ezra Miller Flash suits? No, I much prefer the Ezra Miller Flash suits personally. We don't the charcoal briquette Flash. But with that being said, guys, these are badass, man. And, Lane posed the question, like, do we think the timing's weird? It's like yes and no. It's like, yes, why now? But also, no, because
no one else is doing it either. So
right, no one else is doing it. Hot Toys gave us one figure from the CW Flash show and called it a day. They got some nice effects going on here, too. I love all the different swap-out effect pieces.
Yeah. Now, who all from the show could they end up doing? Because I know because there's like.
So we saw the roadmap, Lane, and I wish I saved the picture. If someone has the picture, someone actually saved the photo and they guessed every single. Like, obviously, there's our classic Flash right there.
Big Eric.
Yep, that's our old school Flash.
One of them probably, I'm going to guess, be Godspeed. Maybe the Black Flash as well. The undead Flash. No female one, so it's not going to be Dreamer or Jesse Quick.
Yeah.
But maybe
I wouldn't be the best at guessing this because, like I said, I've only briefly seen the show, so this would be out of my league. Also, the other one I didn't show, we have the Kid Flash here. Yeah, this.
Yeah.
I don't like the suit design, number one, and
Well, trust me, that's what it looked like in the show. The suit design.
yeah, I'm just not,
It
I'm
is
not a huge
definitely
fan of the suit.
Yeah, I mean, it's definitely inspired because that's what. Godspeed, Dark Flash, Reverse Flash, who are all major villains in it. If you like horror, the Dark Flash will be one you like because it's literally like a zombie Flash because that was from an old story.
Yeah, like I said, with the disappointment from what we saw from Hot Toys, I would definitely love to see that Dark Flash because like Cigar said, I know I've seen what he's talking about, and it is like perfect. Actually, it's perfect to go with like the Dead Strange and stuff like that too. That would look really cool.
Oh,
like
the
crossover thing.
You mean the Pooh Flash from the movie?
Yeah, the charcoal briquette.
Well,
Flash.
that one could be improved because remember that had kind of a similar body style. What we were talking about with that League of Legends Kaisa.
Is that? Hold on, am I crazy or is that hair is really nice looking? It almost looks rooted. That's crazy.
Yeah.
Look at the detail
that's like,
on that. That's wild.
Too good to be true, almost, doesn't it? Like,
yeah,
no, actually, no, it looks good.
Yeah,
looks
you
real.
do have like a little bit of overspray, but that looks pretty good.
Could just be on that
particular. Comes with that heat, man.
It's just but if you're not gonna be able to get all the figures, it's really hard to pick this one over the Flash or Reverse.
Yeah,
Flash.
this one, yeah, like I said, that one just does not interest me at all. But yeah, guys, stay tuned. There's a lot coming from this line. So if you're a CW Flash fan, I'm sure you're jumping for joy. This is cool though. I think it's good to see something different. For me, what I'm hoping for from So is for them to finish the 7, which they said they were gonna do. So I need, I don't like that Black Noir. I don't like. Yeah, I don't know. I don't like that Black Noir at all. From was it Premium Toys that did the Black Noir? I don't like it at all. I think the body is very underproportioned. The details in the suit are just off here and there. I don't know. Something about it I just don't like. So hoping that So commits to doing the rest of the 7 because I have Soldier Boy on pre-order. I have Starlight on pre-order because I do love the original outfit. I don't want that like slutty outfit they made her wear. I much prefer it. Plus, Erin Moriarty, she got all that work done on her face.
Yeah.
And she was just so pretty, I think, in the earlier episodes, and like it really fit with the character. I don't know. I feel
Curious
bad
to see
for
how
her.
she looks. I know.
I feel bad for her. She's getting like torn apart. Like every time there's a picture of Starlight in like promotional stuff for the next season, people just like that's all they can focus on. And it's like I get it. Like she definitely drastically changed her look, but it's a shame that like that's kind of trickling down to her character, and people can't just kind of forget about that and focus on the character because she like deleted her Instagram and stuff.
I was gonna say she made a big public announcement and all that.
You never want to see actors and actresses get bullied and stuff like that. It's unfortunate, but
no. But they're real people too, and they see and hear the things people say about them. So, but that being said, I mean, kind of have to have a thick skin, I guess, if you're going to be in the public eye.
That's true.
But I do feel for her. But real quick on So, what about that old man Logan, man? I mean, like, you remember that figure?
Are you talking about the cowboy one?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Whatever happened with? I mean, this figure just got released, and this was like 2 years old on pre-order. I think it's so weird how they ran. Like Prince came out in like no time at all. I think it was like 3 or 4 months that figure came out. I felt like I'm probably exaggerating a little bit, but I think it was like 5 or 6 months realistically. Like it was just crazy.
Like, will they announce that like, hey, will they say like, hey, we've canceled this figure? Like, when do I reach out to the seller and say,
I don't think they will.
You know what I mean? How does that work?
I think they literally will just continue to release at the rate that they want to release, and it's kind of like all those third-party companies are like that. They just kind of release at the rate they would like to release, and that's it.
Mm-hmm.
We got to look at this one too, don't we?
This is gonna be our final topic for the night, guys. But it's one that I wanted to take a look at because a lot of people were really upset about this. Cigar said she played herself. Okay. She wanted to look younger, and now she looks old with all the. Yeah, I mean, dude, it's just, like I said, it's just so unfortunate that like every time something posted about the character pops up, that's all people talk about. Like I get it. Like if I was in her shoes, I'd be like, damn, that's unfortunate. But
she was such a beautiful. I mean,
that's the thing. She was so beautiful. It's like obviously we don't know what was going on in her head.
Right. We all see things thrown on.
But I had a crush on. I mean, I still do. But like when I first saw her, I was like, "Ooh, Starlight, I see you, girl."
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but yeah, right. Yeah, because the Deep, he's an asshole, man. So you really wanted to see her kick his ass.
Yeah.
They have not, Big Dog Pound. So the only figure they've released so far from the line, the two figures they released so far from the boys line is Homelander and Billy Butcher. So those are the only two that have been released thus far. They haven't announced any other new ones recently. Again, recently they commented and saying they plan on doing the whole rest of the 7. So the Deep, A-Train, like they're gonna do all of them, Black Noir. So I'm excited to see them do that. I'm also waiting. I have, you can see behind me, I have the So-So Omni-Man and Mark figures behind me.
Translucent.
They already released Translucent, dude. I have them right here. But sorry, I had to squeeze that in there.
Nah, of course.
But yeah, it's yeah. So J&D, really quick, guys. We're not gonna spend too much time on this, but this is just. We talked about it before. Where like this was just a little ridiculous. A lot of ridiculous. The price points and everything, and like watching this video, dude, I can see why a lot of people would be upset. So in a nutshell, guys, if you missed it, J&D said, "Well, yeah, I know you guys like us for our rooted hair, but surprise, there's no rooted hair on these figures. We think that silicone."
Said so.
Right, we think that silicone is just painted and the way that it's sculpted just looks a lot better. Of course, I'm paraphrasing, but. Does it look bad? No. Doesn't look bad, but if you promise people rooted hair and I'm spending all this fucking money, I'm sorry, I got to curse on this one. I want rooted hair, and I can understand why people are upset because that's ridiculous. You're charging what was it, $1,800 for the all-in set, and that's direct from J&D. So if you buy it from, I think from the resellers, it was like $2,600.
No.
You best believe. That was Joker. So if this pack was $1,800 direct from J&D, how much would it be?
The detail.
Well, I'm not. No, Spec Fiction's always cheaper. So like, how much is it through 1/6 kit? I think it was like 24. Well, it was like $2,500, right?
Maybe I didn't. I only checked Spec Fiction for this.
Lane, if you didn't look, why didn't you? Why'd you say no? Hold on one second. You're like no.
Well, you were saying third party, so I was speaking.
The hair roll is.
I said resellers. Hold on, let me pull it up.
Dude, where
Sorry,
his
go ahead,
hair
Chris.
flips is what gets it for me. There's like no detail.
Let me pull it back up, and I'm gonna look this up.
Well,
right
we were
That's
now.
why
talking
you can
about-
tell it's not.
Yeah,
Like it just
we were
looks
talking-
so off in paint and like texture and detail. Like right.
We were talking
where the
about
hair was
poofy hair for
flipping.
Han Solo. That
Sorry,
was about the
Lane.
same.
It's $2,300 from 1/6 kit. It's like
Okay.
$2,285, so about $2,300. So that's crazy. So this is a $2,300 set, and you don't get that hand punch rooted hair, which adds to a lot of the value for those that are trying to collect this line.
My question is, are they going to start doing this now for their statues? We're like, well, the rooted hair doesn't attach to the head sculpt's the best on our statues, so we'll start doing silicone, hair on them. I mean, like, I don't understand. When I finally saw this, I don't get why they're doing this with the figure, because you already showed you can do it with the Joker, and there's no way you can tell me doing the Bruce Wayne head sculpt, because I mean it's literally the head sculpt is a shrunk down version of the third scale of this guy from the Bruce Wayne figure, although maybe it looks like it's not quite as old, it's older looking as kind of the statue turned out, but it's insane to me. With that and everything, they're doing $1,800 for this in the armory without a moving arms Batman. Like, it's just,
dude, it's just
X-Men puts it in perspective.
Right, this is the cost of that. The Jazz Inc. Batwing is gigantic. It's legitimately like
there's like serious engineering going on in that thing,
dude.
Designing
this, the Joker was a little confusing to me, but I could see it a little bit, right? The Joker said, I'm like, okay, they sold out of the most expensive version instantly. I'm like, I get it. It's Heath Ledger. They did the silicone sculpt, the rooted hair. I wasn't a big fan of it, but I get it now. Priced out as well to add that. But this, that looks really good, but it's a little weird that they're showing this. I know they're talking about
that I don't need to. Where you were talking about Hellraiser earlier, I don't need to get reminded of it there.
Right? Yeah. What's his name? when he's wearing the father's skin, Frank, when he's wearing the that's what it looked like.
Yeah, this is just like, no.
I don't understand it. You're charging let's just say you're buying it direct from them. You're charging $1,800
Before
and
shipping.
your biggest before shipping, and your biggest selling point for your products, which is a good selling point to have. Hey, we have silicone that we hand punch rooted hair in. Cool. That's a lot of time. That's a tremendous amount of time.
Yeah.
So I get why the figures are so expensive. It's not for me, but I get it. So you're going to take that factor out and just open up the floodgates for people to be like, what the hell are you doing, JND?
Yeah.
That's exactly what they're doing. Does the silicone hair, when I'm looking at it, does it look terrible? No, it doesn't look bad, but you're charging $1,800. You're charging $1,800. So that value proposition that you had with that hand punch rooted hair, which is a tremendous amount of time spent in the manufacturing process, you've lost it for a lot of people.
Right. Where was the price cut?
Right, you've lost it. So,
yeah.
Exactly. Had they been like, surprise, we're not doing rooted hair, you should have been like, surprise, here's a $250 refund.
Yeah.
But they're not doing that. They're just saying, hey, gotcha, but we're taking that away.
It just feels like this was, especially now, the timing of it, by not being upfront with this, for when they first announced it. And as you guys know, I bought J&D product, and I like their statues. I can't speak for the figures, but this feels like how someone where their marketing team was figuring out, how are we going to do this, or we need to get it announced, so we'll hedge our bets right now for exactly what we're doing, like for the one of the key components, how you make a realistic hair or lack of hair or whatever works into that for the figure or statue or whatever. But they just give a good reason for someone not to go buy their product. Like doing that just gives you an excuse for not going to buy this, because I know they're not selling to the same people, and I understand they're not selling.
Right. They're not
mostly selling for Hot Toys or even in art.
Lane, what I think they're trying to do is they're trying to pull their current customers into the 6-scale market, and then anyone else that trickles in along the way, cool. That's the only people I could see really diving into this stuff are primarily J&D customers currently that are trying to get into the 6-scale market in a way, and it's just.
But third scale statue collectors, because this is I'll just say, as a statue collector, other thing, I if that is kind of what their strategy is, I think it's stupid, because one of the things with their statues is the realism. It's the hair, all that stuff is still on their statues, and like their statues are one of the easiest one. Now their packing sometimes leaves the stuff to desire, but their statues are like literally usually one of the easiest to put together of like any statues that are made. I can't see third scale statue collectors for them trying to go to 6 scale figures. Like
Beskar, come on, dude. How did your wife know I'm broke, man? How did you tell her? Real quick, sorry, Lane. Beskar says my wife just walked in, walked by and said, "Are they trashing a figure they can't afford again?" Well, she's right. I can't.
I like her. I like her.
Right.
She sounds like
we could buy it, but there's better to spend.
Beskar, why are you drinking a Rockstar this late at night, dude?
Yeah,
come on, now you sound like me. I do caffeine
if I really wanted to. Like the thing, I could afford to get it, but I just,
Lane,
they seem to give a reason for it not to buy it. Like,
but like the elephant in the room is the sculpt isn't.
No, that's why I said
the Joker is not very good either. I'm sorry.
No, yeah, neither one.
The hair, I will say, the hair looks amazing.
The hair looks cool. Yeah,
the hair looks amazing. Like you could tell that they individually hand punch each one of those hairs. It very much looks.
But why do you do that? I don't. Why did they put these out in reverse? Then, if you're gonna have silicone hair for the Batman, and then I know
and
the
also,
Joker's the big selling point. They may have been farther along.
Who told them to keep marketing this figure like this? With
looking skyward,
like, why did they keep
flying like Superman?
Right, everybody was memeing that photo where the Joker was standing in front of the Batman, and he was like, and like,
yeah.
Why, I get they're showing off the neck mechanism, but who's gonna pose them like that?
And I forget what stream it was.
I'm just
but it was
nitpicking
hilarious.
at this point. I'm being a crybaby, but it's just funny.
Yeah, I know. Well,
and
I'm just and you guys know, I have a lot of people who get on me because I defend J&D quite a bit about a lot of their product, because I like their stuff. But I don't understand if you were because this feel I know it's not the same thing because you got the armory and stuff. But this feels like you're going backwards from what you showed for your first product, because I would have said, okay, we're going to show with the silicone hair and stuff like that. Put this out first, and then
There you go. There you go, Wayne.
But then for your second one, how do you get people a little bit more amped up for your line and your product as part of this? Is you say, hey, so we had to make our figure for this Bale. We had to do the silicone hair for this. But hey, here comes our next product, the Joker, and has the rooted hair. So it looks like,
right,
they
started their line with this. They set a bar for themselves. Hand punch, silicones, silicone sculpt, hand punch,
movable hands, the whole shebang.
And look, guys, I want to if you're a fan of J&D, I know we're sounding like haters. I'm sorry about that. Like at the end of the day, if you're happy with these products, I try not to completely shit on stuff, but for this one, guys, I can't support it. I can't afford it. Right, I can't afford it, but I can't support it. I just can't because perfect example, guys. You guys, I made a stupid purchase recently. A stupid purchase, as in it was expensive. I pre-ordered the InArt Joker 4-pack. So let's compare that price that seems a little crazy to this, right? Yeah, and then you're like, okay, well, 4 figures with rooted hair
and dioramas.
Like 4 bases, like it doesn't seem so bad after all, right? So it's like
and you ordered it when there was only 3 bases.
Exactly, and I was happy with it then. And then InArt's like, surprise, we got you another one, right? Yeah, dude, that confused the crap. I was like, am I the only idiot reading this wrong? I commented it, and I was like, and InArt did respond to me. I was like, so correct me if I'm wrong. I see that it says 3 pairs of shoes. Could you clarify that? And they're like, it includes 3 different pairs of shoes, but 4 pairs total. So 2 of the pairs are the same
because that sculpts,
right, exactly. So that so the wording was very poor on their part because I actually, after I asked it, I saw a bunch of people elsewhere being like, okay, what do they mean? They're only going to give us 3. I was like, that's confusing to me. There's no way they're just going to give us a figure that has no feet on it, right? But I was kind of confused by that too.
If they want to help sell more of those Jokers, they did a good job.
Right.
Hey, real quick, guys, why are they showing 2? I didn't watch this video. Why do they have 2 Bruce Wayne there? Is one like a
one's rooted with what you could have had.
Tailoring looks a little different. I don't know.
I'm not sure. If someone in the chat knows why there's 2 different ones here, I don't know.
Why don't you have them posed slightly differently?
Maybe he just has them next to each other.
And they're going to throw it out.
He's like, this is what we promised you, and this is what you're getting.
For us as the hater brigade here, we would have him just that Bruce Wayne slapping his head. Just like, what are we thinking?
Right. Real quick, Collection Obsession. We're testing out Tuesdays. I don't know if we're going to permanently go on Tuesdays. I got to be honest with you guys. I had an absolute blast so far tonight before we end the stream. I don't necessarily know if we're going to just stick to only Tuesdays or stick to Thursdays or alternate. I'm not sure yet, but we wanted to go live on Tuesday this week, so I appreciate all you guys popping through. I'm sorry I switched up the schedule on you, but so it's not 100% set in stone. I'm still unsure whether we're going to alternate or whatever, but of course we'll let you guys know whatever we decide to do. But yeah, I don't, to answer your question, I have no idea why there's 2 here. I did watch it. I will say I do like this guy from J&D. I think he's very articulate in the way he talks about the stuff. He's definitely a good salesman. You got to give him that because people are buying this stuff regardless. I just think maybe he needs to be like, hey guys, maybe we shouldn't do this to our customers with the the silicone hair thing is just weird to me. It's a bait and switch, and if I pre-ordered this, I would be very upset.
If they wanted us to stop complaining about poopy hair hand, this was a good way to do it.
Yeah, and the thing is, they're not only screwing over themselves and their customers, but they're also screwing over the resellers that are selling their products. Because then they're getting a bunch of inquiries of like, well, you listed this with rooted hair. J&D is saying another thing. What are we getting? I promise you, all the companies that put it up right around the same time that J&D did, they probably got a ton of inquiries after that video was put out. I think Kit's timing was much better because I think he put it out like right around the time that video went out, so he probably didn't get as much of that. Beskar says Tuesdays, dude, we need a good Tuesday. Yeah, I appreciate that, man. Like Tuesday, all these time slots are filled. Thursday we've always been streaming amongst a bunch of other people, so we wanted to try out Tuesday again. I'm not sure if we're going to go to Tuesdays permanently or if we're going to alternate. I don't know, but wherever the road takes us, we'll definitely keep you guys informed. Dude, Collection Obsession. I can't remember if you've. I know you always watch my reviews, and I very much appreciate it. I don't know if you caught my Alfred review yet, but that to me, as far as what I've seen from Mars Toys yet, that's the best sculpt from them yet. That sculpt is beautiful in person. I really, really love that figure. I'm so pleased with it. All the accessories, just everything about it. I love it. I absolutely love that figure. So I'm so glad to hear that you got yours. I hope you enjoy it. And I think you're gonna be pleasantly surprised. Mars went ham on that figure, man.
It's
like
a good looking figure,
dude. Yeah, and like the fried chicken and the onion rings and everything. The 6-scale burger
tray
the
with
paint.
the yeah.
Right, the paint was so clean on the burger, like that. You'd be surprised. That's one of those things where the factory just like bloop, bloop, done. But just everything about it. Mars did a good job QCing that one, and I'm very happy. I had some issues with my display base, and that was it. So if that's the only thing I have issues with, a sticker being messed up with my display base, that's a solid release. So can't say more great things about it. I highly encourage you guys to check out my review. I just posted it last night. It's such a dope figure. And guys, I'm sorry about the Mr. J. Mine's been lost in the mail since like the 24th of January. I've had all this stuff shipped after that. It is going to be here. It's moved, but it got stuck for a while. So the Mr. J, at this point, don't know if I'll put out a review, because you guys know it. For me, it's like I like to review stuff if I'm like one of the only ones that have done it, because I don't want to kind of spit out the same stuff that everybody else is doing, because I want to do something a bit more unique. So I'm not sure if I'll do a Mr. J review. I'm not sure yet. I'm thinking about it. But I will say one that I don't know what interests you guys, but I got the Buzz Lightyear, and I really just felt like a kid again. And
I was going to ask you about how that was.
Oh, dude, I really cannot say better things about that figure. The quality is incredible, and shout out to Monica Dew. Monica and I were talking about it when he first got it, and he's like, dude, I'm telling you, this is a winner. Wow. And it's pure, solid plastic, not that cheap feeling plastic. There's no rubber or anything. It's just, dude, it's incredible. So, it just made me so happy opening it. I'm like, maybe people won't watch it. I don't know, but I might do a video on it just because it's such a nostalgic thing for me. But if you guys are getting the Buzz Lightyear, if you have it on pre-order, you're still paying it off, or you're still hunting one down, trust me, the quality is beautiful. It's really, really special. It's a really special release. So, yeah, that's all I can say about it. Are you having a Thursday show this week? No, this will be the only show for this week, unless the off chance that, like, Princess Leia A New Hope 2.0 or something crazy gets announced. This will probably be the only show for this week. So, again, we're still unsure about what days we're doing it. And also, thank you for checking out the review, by the way. I couldn't remember because I know you comment on everything. I very much appreciate it. But, yeah, I'm not sure what I'm going to do yet. But, again, we're if anything, it's going to be one per week. We did, long ago, we did 2 per week, and it was just too much for everybody. I know it's beneficial for the channel, but excuse me, the life balance is really what's most important for me and the panel members. So I don't want to overwork anybody. So we're still figuring it out, but we'll keep you guys informed. Nice. X-Man says he got Mr. J from Kit last week after he put up another batch. Yeah, that was really clutch, because once all the reviews started coming up, all those figures, obviously everybody was like, oh, where anybody have them? Who has them? Who has them? So very, very smart of them to do another batch. And the Alfred from Kit actually comes with an extra accessory. It's got the little bowler hat, which is really cool if you pre-order from Kit specifically. So Sean, thank you so much for hanging out, dude. It was great to see your face in here. I hope you're doing well on this fine Tuesday evening as we head out. Thank you so much for hanging out with us. I very much appreciate it. And thank you, everybody. It was great to see a lot of new faces in here. That was the one benefit to streaming tonight. Got to see a lot of new faces in here. So yep. Thank you so much, everybody. It was such a fantastic, fun stream. We got 61 people watching. I can't believe it. Right as we end out the stream, please consider dropping a like on the stream and subscribe. Subscribe if you have not already. I would very much appreciate it. And stay tuned, guys. I got a lot of videos coming. There's some new videos up on the channel, so check that out. Especially if you like 89 Batman stuff. I got a lot of 89 Batman stuff lately. Alfred, he's been in 4 movies, but we're gonna count him as part of 89 Batman because he's in 89 Batman. So. Thank you so much, everybody. And Jose, we're about to end out the stream, but I appreciate you popping in. Hello to you. I hope you're doing well. Guess this is a friend of yours, Mike.
Yeah.
Jose, it's great to see you in here. I hope you're doing well.
Yeah.
Guys, as always, on the way out, check out everybody's channel. I know Chris, I was talking to him today. Chris did a review. If you guys are Lego fans, he did a review of this incredible, like, Disney, this full, basically, like, it's like what, Chris, 32 inches tall or something, this Lego castle that he built, the Disney castle. It's incredible. So if you're a fan of Legos.
Chris, is it the 50th or is it, which one is it? The new one?
It's their newer version. It's designed after the 50th, but it's for the 100th. anniversary.
Right.
But yeah, it's the one
It's
that's
got the
almost
pink.
like 5,000 pieces. Yeah,
Yeah,
the pink and the blue and the golds. Yeah,
Yep.
it's right here.
I'm looking at that one,
It's
too.
Yeah, so
massive.
check out
Just-
the video. It's
worth it.
really cool. All the Easter eggs. If you're a Disney fan, the attention to detail is wonderful. But
All right.
guys, on the way out, check out Beskar Kid. YouTube, Instagram, TikTok. You'll find him everywhere. He does like the best quick unboxings for everything,
Absolutely.
and he gets stuff early too. So if you're in the U.S. and you want to like, oh, who's got it? I want to see an early look. He's always got the stuff early. So definitely check out Beskar Kid. Thank you so much for hanging out with us, Beskar. And guys, as always, links in the description of 1/6 Kit, Off the Racks, everybody that we support. And once again, we do have a Discord, the 6 Scale Scallywags Discord, link in the description, and we have a Facebook group. Highly recommend checking them both out. It's such a great time. And consider becoming a channel member if you would like to support the channel. But that's all I got for you guys. Thank you so much for hanging out with us tonight. I very much appreciate it. Take care and have a great weekend if I don't talk with any of you, and we'll see you next time.
See you guys.
Make bad choices.